gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back home to the House of Profanity. This is a podcast on this channel. It's real great. It's super fun. I'm Keenan.
I'm Andrew.
That's Andrew.
I guess that's the intro we're going with.
That's the intro we're going with. Forever,
right.
forever and always.
Forever and always. Okay.
Welcome home, little boys.
Yeah.
That's what the
Well,
Catholic Church said.
So how you doing this night, Keenan? It is 2:24 a.m.
2:24 a.m. Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not bad. I mean,
We just got finished doing our first stream, our first Friday stream.
yeah, super good time.
So yeah,
Super good time.
we'll talk about those later.
We will.
Something that we want to bring up later for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But first off, something we're always gonna start off with on this podcast because we're the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Something we'll always start off with this on this podcast is what we've been playing.
Yes.
So Keenan, you can go ahead first.
Honestly, just kind of the same old shit. I never really got to play anything over the past couple days just because I've been working and I'll sleep super late until I have to go to work. But I have been playing Smash a lot actually, just because I work an overnight shift and it's super dead. So even my manager came in, he's like, "Hey, just bring something in to do on your shift." And I was like, "All right, whatever." So I bought a 2DS XL, one of the new ones, not the fucking doorstop.
The doorstopper one.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so I've just been playing Smash. I've been playing
Monster Hunter Generations,
Monster Hunter
right?
Generations. Almost beat Pokemon Y.
Yeah, it's a good game. Good game.
I'm playing Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah,
And that's
you've been liking that a lot.
It blew my mind. I was like, this, I should have tried Final Fantasy beforehand, but it was always a turn-based combat that I was like, this is fucking ass.
Yeah, and you're not super big,
I hate it.
except for Pokemon.
I don't know what it is with Pokemon, but it feels not fucking boring all the time.
Well, it's probably 'cause it has the different elements and collecting the Pokemon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just something different to it, more to think about, I guess.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I've been playing that. I'm getting into WoW a little bit too,
Yeah.
which Final Fantasy 15 and WoW, two massive time sinks, are just
Yeah.
clashing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Is what it is. I've just been playing that stuff. What have you been playing?
Yeah.
Idiot.
Well, thanks, buddy. Well, since Christmas, I've just been playing my Switch a lot. I think probably my biggest time sink was Super Mario Odyssey, baby.
Yes.
And that is probably one of the best games I've ever played. I still have a lot to do in it. I have 200 some moons, but there's 999 moons in that game.
That's insane.
But
how many stars were there in 64?
120.
So yeah, it's not.
And then Sunshine, there's 120.
Jesus.
So, and Galaxy, I'm pretty sure there's 120 stars in each one of them. So it's
That's
kind of
insane.
it's kind of busted the roof on the Mario collectibles. Which is fine with me. It seems all super fun, and it kind of rewards you for exploration. 'Cause you see some videos where people think they're clever with the movement, 'cause you can get real good at the movement in that game.
Yeah.
And people think they're so clever getting somewhere, and then they get up somewhere, and then there's a pile of coins there. So the developers knew you were gonna get up
I'm sure
there.
they probably learned from Mario 64 too, speedrunners and shit like that.
It's
some of the crazy
definitely
shit that they do.
It's definitely a speedrunner's game. I'd say.
Well, I've seen Trihex do it tons of times already on his stream. I don't know if he has the world record or not though.
It seems like
It's very early still. Even
it's still very early, but it seems like it'd be a fun game to actually learn, 'cause there's so much movement
same thing
and
with Breath of the Wild.
things you have to do. Yeah, it's also a speedrunner's game in my opinion, 'cause there's so many different because of the
Remember with
nature.
RNG, though?
Yeah,
A little bit.
but
That's what that
either way, it's it was it's so open and free that you can just go to the castle right away, pretty much. So
just spit on Ganon until he dies.
yeah, it's pretty much what you can do, and I've seen runs like that before, and it's pretty insane.
Man.
But yeah,
I noticed something too, just kind of to offshoot a little bit. It is about Breath of the Wild. The first episode that we did, I said that I'm not gonna wear armor, and as soon as we got outside, I put all the armor on.
you instantly lie.
I instantly lied. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Don't trust anything I say.
Don't trust anything Keenan
I'm
says.
a terrible human.
Yeah. But yeah, Mario Odyssey, I loved it, and I beat it. But beat it as in I beat the main story, but there's still a lot of like end game
Tons of shit
content
to
and
do.
stuff. Like, spoilers, you unlock Mushroom Kingdom. There's like a Mushroom Kingdom map you can explore. You actually collect stars in that. They still count to your moon count, but they're stars, and they have like the old school like Mario 64 sound on it, and pretty good. And you can get the Mario 64 model
You
as a
shouldn't have
costume.
spoiled that. I was hoping you weren't gonna say anything about
I
it.
was I'm sorry, I had to.
It's
I had to say
fucking
it.
it's something that you can't
It-
hold.
It's something you
secret.
can't hold back, and the game's been out since like October, so I have free reign to
That's true.
go for it.
That's true. If people were gonna play it, they already have.
Like, I'll put a timestamp or something if you really don't
no,
want to
I
fucking
don't
know.
care. I don't care. I was just kidding mostly.
But yeah,
that is really cool. When you told me that, I was like, damn. They
Yeah.
went like all in.
we need to play Mario 64 and all that on the channel. I think that's something that I'd really want
I
to
might
do.
break every controller if you're playing Mario 64.
Yeah, but that's why I'm here. You're the bad cop. I'm the good cop.
I'm the fucking.
You're the fucking I'm gonna kill everybody cop, and I'll be okay a little bit cop.
I'm gonna kill everybody, cop.
You're the I'm gonna kill
Oh,
everybody
shit.
cop. Let me think what else. Doom on Switch, which is pretty good. Doom's just good, whatever you got it
Yeah.
on, but
I've heard Doom was good. I've seen so many people complaining about it. and
whatever.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why would you complain? Everyone's getting games. Just have fun with it. Everyone enjoys
It's-
this one
it's-
hobby.
Probably one of the best first-person shooters to come out in the last couple of years.
They changed the formula.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting, hiding, and then going out, not even going out, just
Well, it's not
peeking and
even
shooting.
changing the formula. It's just going back to the previous formula where
Well-
you have every single weapon, and you're supposed to be moving all the time,
Well, yeah,
otherwise
I'm
you'll die.
saying change the formula from like modern shooters.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause, like,
yeah,
you have like your Call of Duties that are just like sit in this cover or stand out in the middle of the fucking street and get shot 15 times and be fine. You have Battlefield just like shoot a grenade launcher at this helicopter and blow it out of the sky, which was fucking badass, mind you. But
Yeah.
it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Doom is realistic in any way, shape, or form, but
It's
when
fun.
you have a game that like forces you to be like, go over here, kill him. Go over there, kill him. Go over there, shoot him. Tear his arm off and hit him with it. Rip
Yeah.
that one's face off.
And Doom is
Yeah,
hard
no
too.
more.
Like there's some more strategy to it 'cause you have to keep like looping yourself around, or otherwise you'll die 'cause they just overwhelm you with like more and more demons.
Yeah, it's like I always kind of saw it as like training in zombies. Like when you train like a super big group of zombies around, like one of the CODs.
Yeah.
You just train them around like a certain area and just like run a couple feet ahead, turn around, and just blow through a bunch of them, and then do the same thing. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. But yeah, I got the Switch version 'cause I hadn't got the game yet, and I was just like,
Fuck it, why not? get it
I
on Switch?
get that. I don't really give a hell fuck about hell fuck.
I don't really give a hell fuck.
Perfect for Doom, hell fuck. I
Hell
don't really I don't give a hell fuck about, and it's nice for frame rate and resolution and all that, but like the fact that you can like play
It's the
Doom,
portability, man.
I just I never thought I'd use like 'cause I thought it was cool that the Switch was portable, but I think a lot of people realize that just how good it is, because like
I'm sure it's probably
most of the time I just play it in handheld mode 'cause I'm like, do I want to sit in front of the TV and play it? Not really, so I just like cozy up in my bed and play some Doom, rip
Oh yeah.
people's fucking head off.
And then you
And,
fall asleep and visions of split heads dance in your head.
I'm trying to think. I was playing a bit of Rocket League there for a while on Switch also, which was pretty good, and I like it. And one of the big major cross-platform games, which is
Yes.
cool 'cause you were playing on PC and I was playing on Switch, and we were just
Yeah.
playing around in the.
Yeah, I got it on
Private
PC
match.
a while ago.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Anyone that has it on PS4 fucked up.
Yep.
Honestly, like anyone that buys anything on a PS4 at this point that has crossplay on everything else
Is
fucked
a
up.
shame, yeah.
you
'Cause
fucked up.
Minecraft was another big one that was crossplay.
It's super fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
Like, why
Switch,
would you
Xbox One, PC.
Why would you
so,
not want that?
Yeah,
Like
it's pretty cool. It's unfortunate.
I've always had friends, right? I was in kind of like I always only had Nintendo consoles until
Yeah.
I bought myself a PlayStation 3
Yeah.
like a while ago. And like I was always in that rut where it's like, God, nobody cares about the Wii
Yeah.
anymore. Like everyone's playing like PlayStation or Xbox. Nobody cares enough to buy a Wii, and like I didn't have any friends to play games with, so I was always just, chilling, playing games.
And there's a lot of good games on the Wii, but I think especially at that time you were probably like, I don't give a fuck about any Wii.
Yeah, at that time I was like, fuck this, because it wasn't even like from a perspective of like, there's no games on the Wii, because I played tons of games on the Wii and I thought it was great. It was a super good console for its time, and like. But in that time, I was like, God, I just want like my friends were all talking about like, oh, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is fucking shit. I used to be a COD kid, right?
Yeah.
So I'd buy every Call of Duty. I mean, I still kind of am. Like I play it every now and again. It's just like turn your brain off and shoot shit.
It's ingrained in your fucking
pretty
psyche.
much. Like that's how I started playing games essentially. But
Yeah.
like I just wanted to play games with my friends, so I got a PlayStation, and then
And now you've spiraled into being an Xbox boy.
No, I'm still PC.
Well, yeah,
I
but
like
like
PC
still,
better than I ever will Xbox. I really like Xbox though. I will say
it's
that.
pretty good.
I like the play anywhere option.
Yeah.
Like if you have a gaming PC, why would you buy a PS4? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
It's pointless.
And there's tons of games.
There's tons of play anywhere games on it. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't
So
even
is-
remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about fucking Doom on Switch, and I
Damn,
was
how did we get all the way over here?
I don't know. It was just because I was talking about like frame rate and shit and all that stuff. I don't know. It's fucking
Yeah.
big thing.
Oh, I know where it came to from. No, I don't. I lied. Actually, I
Stop
thought I
lying.
did, and then I
Stop
didn't.
lying, dude. But yeah, I think that's pretty much most of it. Besides some like few things here and there. We're probably having a Monster Hunter sesh tomorrow, so that'll
Dude,
be
I'm
some
excited
good
for that,
shit.
honestly. I fucking Monster Hunter's the shit.
Fuck.
It's the best fucking game.
Well, I think that wraps up that part of the
But
show.
it also leads right into Monster Hunter World.
All right,
I mean, I figure
sure.
why not? We
that
end on
works.
Monster Hunter, we start on Monster
That
Hunter.
works. Okay, Monster Hunter World. Right, it's the
Coming out 26th.
yeah, it's the 20th now, I believe. Is it?
Yes.
Okay,
The
20th.
as we're
It's the
recording
20th.
this at 2:30 a.m.
Yes, it is 20th. So in 6 days it comes out. And I'm hyped. That's basically the reason he got an Xbox.
Andrew never pre-orders games.
I never
And he
pre-ordered
pre-ordered
game.
this game like a month in advance.
Literally like the last
A month
game
in
I
advance.
last game I pre-ordered was like
Technically
Lego.
Lawbreakers.
Technically, but that wasn't
But
mine.
I purchased that and I was like, hey, play this game with me.
And we all know how that turned out.
Yeah, that's a
Anyway,
fucking shit. Let's not even get
that's a
into that
topic
because
for
I'm
another
so
day.
fucking mad about that.
The last game I ever pre-ordered was like Lego Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hell
'Cause
yeah.
I was like, I want the figure that comes with the pre-order. And then
you
I'm
can
like,
get those in special editions now, eh?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, it was just like, I usually don't pre-order shit 'cause there's no point, and I don't want to support GameStop. But I was like,
Well, it's not even supporting GameStop. It's just it's giving the company your money before they even show you a product.
yeah, I know.
So it's like what the fuck? What like?
But like I played the beta and I was like, I gotta fucking get
We
this
played
game.
the beta of Lawbreakers.
Yeah, but that was shit.
That was shit, and this is Capcom, and we can trust
and
Capcom to a certain extent.
Better. It's been back and
Okay,
forth.
the reason I say that, especially with Monster Hunter, is because this is the biggest risk that
Well,
they've
Monster
ever
Hunter-
taken with
yeah.
Monster Hunter ever. It's
I know.
not on a Nintendo console. It's only on PC, Xbox One, PS4. It hasn't been on a PlayStation console since the PS2 versions.
Yeah.
No, since the PSP versions. Those came
Yeah.
after. I think. I could be wrong, but I think they were. And like it's a game that's primary like demographic is in Japan, and like that pretty
Yeah.
much carries it to a point where they can localize it for North America. That's the only reason why they're putting it on.
And it's fairly niche here.
It's niche here, but it's like the Call of Duty.
Oh yeah,
in
I know
Japan
that,
is
but it
insane.
is niche here.
It is super niche here, but
I
wish
think it
was
will
bigger.
bring in people.
I hope it will.
I think it
see,
will.
Like people like I follow the thing on Facebook that like they update stuff all the time, and like I'll just check the comments every once in a while, see what people are talking about. There's very few negative comments about this game.
Yeah.
There's very few, and if they are, it's people that don't necessarily understand what Monster Hunter is all about.
Or it's diehards.
Or it's diehards that like, oh, they're making it too mainstream. They're making it too simple. It's like,
It's not
It
Dead
won't be
Rising
simple.
4.
It won't be simple.
It's not
Believe
Dead
me,
Rising
it
4.
won't be. I didn't play the beta because I don't have a PS4. I haven't even watched any gameplay of it.
Nothing.
Even still, I've not watched game. I've only watched the trailers that they've released and like the monster announcements. That's all That's everything. And I'm
Nothing.
pre-ordering it a day before it comes out. Literally, I get paid next week on the 25th, and I'm ordering
Nothing
it
will
a day before
be
it comes
a more clear like point of simplifying a game series for fucking dumb idiots is Dead Rising 4 is a perfect example. Because
Yeah.
that's basically what they did.
out. Yeah, it started in Dead Rising 3.
Fallout
and
Fallout
4 as well.
4 is also another one. It's
Arguably better.
It's not quite as bad as Dead Rising 4, but it's still the same type of
But they
tactic.
still have like direct pathing where the AI should be
Yeah.
walking, and they completely avoid it and go.
And
around
there's a
this
lot of
super
problems
weird
with that
place.
game anyway. But anyway, it seems like Monster Hunter World definitely is going to be a good game. I played
Yeah.
the beta. I had a fucking ball. I like dominated like the mid-tier monster with a hammer, and
Oh,
it felt
yeah.
so good.
Is that what you're gonna go with? Is that
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's just so fun, like jumping off his shit and like jumping off the monster and like smashing him in the head. And like I like charged up my hammer all the way, and then I was just like, and he ran at me and just like wham, and then just like boom, broke his crown off right away, and it
Oh,
like
that's
felt
awesome.
so good.
That's I don't know what I'm gonna do. Honestly, I like the insect
And the
glaive. I don't know how the fuck it works. I might do my beautiful, my lovely,
The
my
the-
forever always switch axe.
The problem is just like there's so much awesome
There's
stuff.
so many cool.
All of the weapons are so fun to use.
I don't know if because like they even have like new like tech for the bow guns
Mhm.
and like that fully auto thing is like that looks fucking cool.
Yeah, it's like a charge you
Yeah.
do, and then
Like that looks fucking really cool.
yeah.
But I might just like I really love the switch axe. I
Yeah.
really love this. I could never like even generations like I was playing with the charge blade a lot.
Charge blade's
I
good
was like this is fucking really cool. Like it feels great to like you can
because you can like switch between axe and sword.
yeah,
and
like you can
shit.
combo into it. You have a shield barrier protection instead of like
And then like
an
the
all-out
charge,
assault.
the charge you
yeah,
can
and the
release
charge
and
you can do
stuff.
is insane. Like like the one I was using the bone charge, whatever it's called. And it has like a thing where like you swing the axe around, and only the axe, not the sword. And you swing the axe around with the charges, and it'll like leave these kind of stuck bombs on them, like these small little explosions that can like break crowns like a hammer would, except it takes a lot more.
Yeah.
And like I loved it. It was great, but it's just never as good as the Switch. Like I played it. I probably have like 13 hours clocked in it right now, and probably 5 of them I've been at the charge blade, and I was like, I want my Switch X, baby.
Yeah, when my Switch
I
X
love the
back.
Switch X. I don't know if I could ever go back on it, honestly.
I
Unless there's
love-
like some really cool weapon that I want to try out. Like the charge blade was like in this one. I'd never seen it before. I was like, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I liked it, but
I used to when we started playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, which is still a great game. But like when I
Dual
first started playing when I first started
Yeah.
playing Monster Hunter, I was like, I hate these big weapons, and I always use like the dual blades, and dual blades are good in their own right,
too
but
bad
it's
you're
like
a fucking idiot.
I was like pigeonholed into like dual blades because I was like, I hate these slow ass weapons. But then eventually I just got so like used to it, and it's so good.
Like
And if you ever feel that way, just give it a
just
shot.
try it.
Give it a shot.
Just
Not
try
saying
it.
that dual blades are bad. Not saying that long sword or anything. Any of the faster weapons are bad because they're all fucking great.
Yeah, they're
Like
all really
insect
easy and
glaive, you're
really good to
fucking
use.
flipping
Well,
around
not
and
easy.
shit.
They're not easy to use. They're good to use.
Not easy.
They're
Like
fun.
in insect glaive in world, you can like fucking flip around in the air and shit. It's insane.
Yeah, and I like the insect glaive. I just didn't understand what the insect did.
Yeah.
Or like there was a bunch of
it's
these
it's
different
basically like
vials
you
that you could get that, like,
you shoot like certain parts of the monster, and then it gives you like certain colored like buffs or something like that. I think that like buffs damage and certain other things.
I'll just use a horn. if
You'd
I
have to
want
like
that. I don't know. I've always liked like.
yeah, I
like
know
these
that, but it's
heavy
just
ass,
like it has
know?
its own
yeah,
benefits to a
I'm
horn.
Sure, yeah, it definitely does. And like you had these these
Like the
different jellies or
mobility, the
whatever.
mobility of the insect glaive
Dude,
is ridiculous.
If the great sword had the mobility of
It has
the
a little bit
insect
more
glaive, it'd be
mobility because like in generation because aerial style.
Yeah, aerial style is super dope.
It's like it's just
I
like
use that with my
it-
like bow gun.
it asked me when I first started the game.
Yeah.
It was like, which style are you picking? I'm like, is it even a question?
I don't think
Like
so.
fucking aerial
Yeah.
style. Like all the other styles are cool, but it's just like aerial style is so good. It changes how the whole
You
game
just
feels.
jump off the top of a
Jump up.
monster and
I
fucking
love it. Jump off the top of the
slice
monster,
down.
smash him in the head with a hammer.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Hell
What
yeah.
the fuck are you doing? Of course.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't use aerial style. I switch between whatever weapon I'm using. If I'm using the charge blade, of course I'll use aerial style because you can combo it and then jump off the monster and like clink them together and it turns into like the axe. You come down and like slice shit off the monster, do whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll use that for just about any other weapon besides the bows and the bowguns.
Yeah.
And like the bowgun, I'll use the style of like the bowgun thing. You like pack it with like whatever, and it like does extra damage. But I'll have like the kind of flip out of like whatever, like on because like heavy bowguns take like 10 minutes to put away. Like, oh Jesus Christ, I unscrew this or fucking crash it or put it on my back. And you just dive out of there and you're golden.
I've also been pretty into like gun lance. Gun lance is fucking amazing.
The gun lance is insane. Dude, do you remember that drop that I got in Monster Hunter Online?
Yeah.
That gun lance, it did like 7,000 damage or some shit per tick.
I think Monster Hunter Online made me a punk, honestly.
Oh, it made me.
Like,
because I was like, fuck, dude, Monster Hunter, breeze. I get into Generations. It takes me like 5 or 6 tries to beat the first monster, and I barely did it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how this felt, because we way over leveled.
Yeah.
Like,
and even so, I think it's easier.
It is easier.
I know we got to the harder monsters, but like
HR2 HR2 beats your ass in Monster Hunter Online.
Yeah. And like
everything before that's pretty easy.
I think Monster Hunter Online really scratched that itch, but I don't really care to play it anymore. I think we had our time with it, and I think we had
Monster Hunter World is coming out.
Yeah. Well, even just like normal Monster Hunters now that we have Generations and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I
just like how much more there is to like an actual Monster Hunter game where like it doesn't have these kind of like shoehorned in MMO elements either.
Yeah, like the packs and everything like that.
And like the quests and stuff. Like there are quests in Monster Hunter, but like the way they did quests was really like MMO style, and I didn't really fit.
Yeah, it was like, oh, go do this thing. It's like, okay, but why?
And so like if you like literally like if you really need to scratch that itch, and we did, and we had good times with it for sure. I'm not saying it's bad.
How long did we even play it? Probably like
a long time.
No, it wasn't that long.
Well, not that long of a time.
It was a long time span because like we'd have like big breaks in between. But like I'm gonna say probably most.
It was quite a few hours. Yeah,
I'd say 20.
That's
I'd
a good
20 hours max. We both hit level 150.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I don't know. You were pretty close. You're like level 40.
Yeah,
140
pretty close.
or something like that. Basically 150.
But
and it got to a point where like any monster below HR2 was like a breeze.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, let's farm some what are they called? Australians. Yeah. It's like just go in, cut the tail off, get that shit, kill the monster, 5 minutes, one and done. Easy.
It's not a lot of fun. Like it was fun for a while, but
it was fun, but when it gets to a point where like you're so cuz you can never really over level in Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Like because things aren't scaled to level like they would be in an MMO because there is technically no levels besides HR level.
Yeah.
It's just hunter rank. But you can still go back to like the great Jaggies and they can still give you a run for your money every now and then.
Yeah, I think that's what gives a Monster Hunter much more replayability.
Yeah,
in its normal state than online. Online it's just like because of the scaling of the levels, it's just like completely breaks the game pretty much.
It's almost like it has the Dark Souls syndrome is what I like to call it. Like if you way over level in Dark Souls before a boss, it'll be super easy.
Yeah.
But if you just like kind of play and get to the bosses as you get to them, like you're gonna get your ass whooped, and that's a lot like what Monster Hunter is.
Yeah.
It's basically just a massive amount of boss battles. And one thing I like that I heard that Monster Hunter World was doing is that everything is very much more like they have less of the bullshit where like, oh, you collected all this shit, okay, combine it now. It's like, oh, you picked up dung, you have dung bombs now.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a glow bug, you got this now.
There's a lot of
you have this now. Like it's like
there's a lot of convenience.
It's like quality of life shit.
Yeah,
like
nothing.
The
that's
only reason
like
why they really had the combination thing, I'm sure, is probably because of the old ass engine that they were using.
Yeah.
And this is
and that's fine. And it's like Not that it's
What
not
was
that it's,
that?
I don't know. Not that it's like
What a
necessarily
stroke.
not that it's like necessarily bad.
Yeah.
Like
No, it's not bad
it's
at
just
all.
something a different way of doing it, and it'll probably like
It'll probably pan out,
be
and
a
this will
good
probably be the
change.
mainstream of Monster Hunter for the foreseeable future. Because if this game sells well in North America, which by the looks of it, it'll probably
Good.
sell pretty fucking well in North America.
I think they said like the beta had like 10 million
10
players
million
or
players.
something,
That's insane. This is gonna be the
and that's only PS4,
yeah. That's
not
only,
counting
that's only
like
PS4.
Xbox and not counting when PC drops.
So let's say, okay, PC. Let's assume that they didn't do a PC version just for the
Yeah.
sake of argument.
Even
right?
so, it's still
even
fucking
even
trash.
so, you have
Be trashing it.
Xbox One.
Yeah.
Right. You have PS4.
Mhm.
PS4 has outsold the Xbox One by a mile.
Yeah.
10 million players on PS4. Let's say about when the game fully comes out and the ad campaigns are done. Let's say the players on PS4 nearly doubles. Let's say 17 million players on PS4. Let's say 10 million players on Xbox.
Like 27
It's
million
27
people.
million people playing that game. That's Overwatch numbers.
Yeah.
That's insane. 10 million people. And that's people that like could have been even just browsing the shop and being like, "Oh, I'm looking for demos to play. Oh, look, Monster Hunter World. What's that?" They play it. They like, "This game is fucking awesome." And then they buy it.
Bring new people in.
Yeah.
And it does, and you know, comparing another Capcom game like Dead Rising 4
Yeah.
again, unlike Dead Rising 4, they're making some like not even really simplifications. It's like you said, quality of life. It's like
Yeah.
they're trying to improve what they're doing. They're not just stripping stuff out so people can easily digest it. It's still going to be a hard experience to deal
And
with.
from what I understood, like people talking about the beta, it was a fucking hard beta. Like you get
It
to
was.
the top tier monster and like
He
it's
wrecks your
unbeatable.
shit.
like it's beatable, but it's fucking hard, man. Like good
You'd have
luck,
to do
idiot.
a lot of stuff. You'd have to be really good.
But yeah, I'm excited for that shit. I'm gonna pre-order it the day
Same.
before it comes out. You've already had it pre-ordered.
I already have it pre-ordered.
I think I'm just gonna go with that sweet Switch X.
Everybody, no matter what you play it on, have a good time.
Yes,
Play it.
no matter what you play.
And by the time we do the next podcast next month, then we will have played it and we can talk about it
Yep.
with you. And
Yes.
yeah. So something I also wanted to go into, since you mentioned Dark Souls syndrome, is
oh
Dark
wow, that
Dark
was a good
Souls-
one. That was a good one.
Dark Souls Remastered, ladies and gentlemen.
God,
There's not a lot said yet, but it is coming out on Xbox One, PS4, PC,
It's
and
coming
one
out
of the
on
most
everything.
important to me is the Switch.
I thought it was only coming out on Switch.
Nope.
But also, even still, that's fucking incredible.
Dark Souls on Switch?
Like yes, please. And portable? Yes, please.
Fuck yes. Like the
Wow.
moment I heard that, I was like,
You know what that means?
that's insane.
You know what that means? Since they're doing that, they could port Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3 to Switch, possibly.
That I heard, because there was a rumor that came up that's like, oh yeah, they're gonna announce Dark Souls Remastered on Switch, and I'm like, okay, it happened. And in the same rumor, it said they're probably porting the
same
other
one?
two, same rumor. It was like they're probably porting
So
the other
that's
two
fairly
from the series.
credible. Unless
Yeah.
that was just a wild, crazy guess, which I highly doubt that's the case.
Yeah, because that seems too similar.
That yeah. So odds are we're getting Dark Souls 2 and 3.
And then one remaster. Before
one
that.
remaster for everything. Dark Souls 2 and 3 re-release. Probably
Yep.
not on it. No, I wouldn't say they'd re-release
Not for everything.
2 and 3 since they already had.
They already have Scholar of the First Sin on Xbox One,
Yeah.
PS4, and 3's already out.
3's already
in their
out. All the
deluxe
DLC
edition.
is done for that.
Yep.
So if they released it on Switch, Dark Souls 2 and 3 on Switch, and
Make
then,
tons of fucking money.
Shadows Die Twice,
That could easily be on.
that could easily be on everything.
Yep.
Unless
and
Sony
that-
gets
and-
their grubby hands on it,
and
like
I
they did
think-
with Bloodborne, which
and
is
I think-
arguably my favorite story in Dark Souls.
Yeah. I think 2018
Soulsborne,
will 2018 will be I think the year we see that third parties ramp it up for Switch. It's already
hope
been
so.
ramped up pretty high. And at the end of 2017, like with like Doom and like Rocket League and all
Yeah.
this stuff just cropping up, and a ton of indies and stuff. But like now we're getting like Dark Souls remastered, and Wolfenstein 2, New Colossus, and like stuff like that dropping, and Payday 2, and
Yeah,
like
Payday 2 with the exclusive DLC is fucking
exclusive
cool.
DLC and the exclusive like local multiplayer mode and all that stuff. Like it's they have a lot of stuff coming, and they have a lot of like exclusive indie titles and exclusive titles and all that stuff.
They're
like
killing it, man.
it is gonna be a good
They're
year.
doing it.
But I know I'm excited for Dark Souls 1 remastered. I really love the first Dark Souls. I really love the game. I don't know, like I tried to play it a couple times, and then like I just couldn't get into it, right?
Yeah.
And then one day I just sat down and played it, and I was just like, and I was always like, oh, it's so hard to get through this. I don't know where to go, right?
Yeah.
And then you literally just talk to people.
Yeah.
Literally talk to people, and they say everything you need to know. You could just talk to that one guy at Firelink, and he'd tell you.
Crestfallen Knight.
Yeah, crestfallen guy.
Go
and
to Undeadburg.
Literally,
Like,
he could just
okay,
tell you
sure.
shit. And then some cutscenes happen.
Yeah.
That game is not perfect by any means.
No, oh my god. No.
It cheeses the fuck out of you all the time.
Dark Souls 3 is a lot more manageable. With that.
Dark Souls 3, I haven't completed it yet, which I need to.
Yes,
But
you
Dark Souls 3 is.
I've done that new game plus 3 times.
I think it's the better game because it is more balanced and fair, and they've had time to develop the series a little more. But I love Dark Souls 1 for its world building.
Yes.
Dark Souls 1 is fucking masterclass level design.
Yes.
Everything. I couldn't praise it anymore. Everything's connected through these like little tunnels or just like big places.
It's not like that shit
and
that Dark Souls 3,
Dark Souls
2
Dark Souls
does.
2 is like
It's like, oh, fast travel here,
Okay.
fast travel here. It's kind of lame. Then like, like in Dark Souls 1, you see it, you can be there.
You go.
You go.
You
can
go.
be there.
and I bet they'll add the fast travel in Dark Souls 1 remastered. I'm just gonna make a wild
You
guess.
can already do it.
Yeah.
So like you just rest at a bonfire, and it's like, oh, I want to go back to Firelight. And it's like, okay.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But
So
you
they
have to
already
like
kinda have it.
you have to like
I honestly hope they fucking fix Blighttown.
I'm assuming they
That
will.
shit is so bad. Unless you have DS fix on the PC and you run that game at 60 frames per second, and it still drops.
Even DS Fix is like it's I commend the guy for what he did, but
Yeah.
even then it's fucking
like Blighttown still like
Awful.
you play it at 60, it drops to 30 instead of 20.
yeah.
The problem too with DS fix is that a lot of like the maneuverability in the first Dark Souls relies on your frame rate.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how you have to walk off the elevator and kind of cross like that little bit to get to the bird's nest to go back to the Undead Asylum?
Yeah.
So when you roll to get, or when you jump or you roll to get onto that little pillar that's there so you can climb up and get to the staircase to talk to the crow, you can never make it at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
'Cause it's going too smoothly. You have to do 30, so it kind of lags when you hit it, so you roll kind of almost in midair, like half of your hitbox is in midair, and then you
Yeah.
roll and land. So it doesn't work with 60 frames per second unless you literally have frame perfect timing, which I don't think anybody does, and unless you're dodging.
I'm assuming that it'll be fixed,
I hope so.
and
I
I'm
hope so.
hoping this will be the definitive version of the game, so people don't have to deal with this
I
shit.
don't think it will be.
And like,
I think
really?
I think what they'll do is actually, you know what? I think it will be actually.
It will
That's
be.
a lie. I think it will be because it's releasing on anything.
they're
on
not.
everything.
They're not.
I,
They're not
I
gonna-
still, for whatever reason, have it ingrained in my brain that it's only on Switch.
No.
But they're releasing it on everything. So what they'll do is they'll release it. It'll be the Prepare to Die edition with all the DLC. It'll probably run at 60, and they'll probably fix every problem that the game had to a certain extent. I'm sure there will still be some.
I think.
But
Well, because From Software.
yeah, it's from.
they're not
it's from
perfect.
Software.
But I think they'll fix. I'm gonna predict they'll fix Blighttown.
I hope so.
I think it'll probably look at least Dark Souls 3 level of quality, like
That would
graphics
be
wise.
fucking incredible.
I'm
Can you imagine?
no way
seeing,
they
like,
wouldn't.
Sif?
It'll be cool. It'd be really cool.
Like seeing Sif
Yeah. It'd be
is
so
that
cool.
fucking big ass wolf.
Yeah.
God, that boss fight is so fucking sad.
Yeah.
It's like I was protecting my dude Artorias.
Too bad.
Fuck you, idiot. I need your
Too
soul.
bad,
I
buddy.
need your soul for a red cold weapon.
Yeah. I don't think it's a perfect game by any means, but I think its level design's really good. All the characters are just like out of this
Yeah.
world. You really feel like you're carrying what you're doing, and when you get to that final fight with Gwyn, you're just like, Gwyn can be pretty tough, but like if you can get him,
Man, the point in Dark Souls 3 is my favorite Dark Souls.
yeah,
Bloodborne has my favorite story. Dark Souls 1 has my favorite boss fights. Dark Souls 2 is trash.
Yeah,
but-
the only thing that
but
Dark Souls 2 did really good was the jumping. It fixed the
That's true.
jumping.
Dark Souls 3 is my favorite one for the reason that the story builds to a point where, like, a lot of things are connected, of course, between Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1 because it's like the same kind of world almost.
Yeah.
But it's like a new age, right? So like you have all these different rulers and kings, and like every boss is unlike Dark Souls 2, right, where you had the Smelter Demon 3 different times, and one of them was you had to pay for. That was a different color. The God, that fucking makes me mad still. The every boss you fought, you were like, this person is fucked.
Yeah.
Like you had what's his name? Sullivan.
Which is
Pontiff
it?
Sullivan.
Okay.
Like this super oppressive leader that was just like fucked everything up for everybody. Then you had Aldrich, the God Eater, who literally ate humans. It's like, damn, dude. Like, I don't know. That game is stellar. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I've played it. I beat it, and then I played it again in New Game Plus, and then I played it again in New Game Plus, and I played it again in New Game Plus.
Like, I need to beat it, but still, it just seems from what I've played that it's definitely challenging, but it's fair. It seems like if you mess up, then it's your fault. Like, there is moments like that in Dark Souls 1, but, like, there's certain boss fights that I'm just like, why? Like, when you fight, what is his name? Like, the skeleton guy, Neith or whatever? Nito. He himself is not too bad, but then he has a bunch of these minions fighting you, and it's just like, why?
I think the reason for that, because he's a god.
Like, who cares? It's just annoying.
Yeah,
So you have to like kind of like find these ways to cheese the game yourself. Like that fight in particular for me, how I found to cheese the game, Havel's armor, because it soaks up the extra damage, so you can get into Nito.
I essentially took like 3 weeks and leveled to a point where I could use full Havel's, like Havel's armor, Great Shield, and Dragon Tooth, and just jump down there and beat the fuck out of them.
See my build, Uncle was like
Uncle.
Yeah, is his name. He was big boy. So
yeah.
I want to be a big boy, and it worked out most of the time. But it's just like some bosses that'll just cheese your ass because they have something unfair about
That's what
them.
Aldrich was for me.
Yeah.
It took me so fucking long to be Aldrich.
Seath the Scaleless.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. I hate that boss. And the only way I beat it was cheesing him, because you know how he has that move where he brings up all these crystals,
and
it's just everywhere. It's everywhere, and it curses you.
Yeah.
It brings up curse, and the curse is like, whoop, you're cursed. It's like, great.
See, like, I hate that with the frogs too, but it's like you can just get it out of the smoke and it goes back down. But that's like, the frogs
are easy enough, but with Seath, it's like, you're cursed. But in Firelink, in like that kind of chain, like that like barred area that like I think is the Firekeeper or something like that. When she dies, if she dies like by that bitch Lando or whatever the fuck his name is. Lando. No, that's not his name.
What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Fuck me.
I don't know. We'll have to get back on that. But anyway, he's gonna search it up.
Look it up.
But anyway, if you get her set, and then
I'm gonna feel so dumb.
You get her set and a certain ring from like when you fight the 4 kings or whatever the hell, or the kings.
That's
what
I used as well with Havel's.
Yeah, there's a certain ring in that area and it brings down curse. So if you wear that and her set, see, this curse is fucking garbage. Like normally it would go up like whoop. Yeah. It goes up like that. Like, look at me.
Yeah, I see.
It's like that, like really. It's basically really slow, like.
Yeah.
So it's like you could just basically cheese him, because he's cheesing you, so cheese him back. That's what he had to do in Dark Souls 1, which is annoying, and I'm sure that won't be improved at all in Dark Souls Remastered. Low track. I'm sure Lando. I'm sure it won't be fixed at all in Dark Souls
No,
Remastered,
absolutely not.
and I'm gonna still love it when I play it. But it's just like these certain things that it's just like,
beating
why do I
Seath
wanna?
is so much easier with magic. I bet.
I bet because you
You
can
just
stay away.
stand out and just like twirl your little fucking baton.
It's just it's not fun. Normally, it's not. Like I love the game. Like I've said, I'm singing its praises the whole time, but it's not fun.
I got
It's
to a
not.
point where like I could use like leveling up that I could use Havel's full armor and 2 ultra great swords in both hands, and I was just destroying fools at
Yeah.
that point. And it was so annoying because like you get to a point, and I got to this point in Dark Souls 3, eventually where like I'd see, I forget what boss it was, but there was, I think, no, the deacons were easy as fuck. What was it? What's after the deacons? I forget. Anyway, there was some bosses that I would get to that I could just like destroy.
Yeah.
Super easy, and I was like, fuck, that sucks.
It's just like I
Like,
remember
as much
not.
as I'm like, yeah, I beat him. There's not that like satisfaction of like I tried for so long and I got fucked every time, and now I'm
Yeah.
finally back and I stuck this fucking ultra gray sword into your dick hole and squeezed it.
And it's like unless you're like some sort of like crazy maniac, you're not gonna like some of the boss fights are.
Yeah,
It's
unless
just
you're a fucking
ridiculous.
masochist.
Like Ornstein and Smaug is not too
I
bad.
love that fight.
I love the fight, but it's just like I'm gonna take Solaire with me.
Yeah,
I'm not
fuck
like
you.
because he
Yeah.
can kind of he doesn't really do much, but like he can kind of distract one of them,
Yeah.
and that makes sense to me. If I'm a knight in some crazy fucking world, I'm not gonna just go into a 2-on-1 fight.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring some badass with me.
exactly.
Like
Especially fucking Solaire, dude.
Solaire's I got to I did the shit wrong in my game, and he did like that.
He went crazy.
I felt so bad.
Damn, he's like,
That-
I need to find the sun.
That actually like hurt me.
Oh,
That hurt me
sucks.
because he was such a good guy.
Yeah, it's sad, man. You have to kill him, and it's like,
I think the hardest time I had in the game that pissed me off the most was Gwyn, because
the final boss, Gwen?
yes,
Okay.
because I pretty much didn't parry throughout the entire
Yeah, you
game,
pretty much have
and
to.
his fight is dependent on parrying, which was annoying to me. But there is a way you can kind of cheese him around this certain area, and I did that. But it's just like the parrying is so like if I kept playing the game like over and over and over and over, I could probably get it.
Mm.
But it's just like it's
so frame
weird.
perfect.
It's weird.
No, it's not even frame perfect. It depends on every single attack that somebody does.
Yeah.
Like,
And Gwyn is just like it's so hard to predict because he's just like, who knows what he's doing? But it's like his fight is
it's even worse for the Cinder King.
yeah
It's even worse. Like eventually, like, cause he uses every single element in the game. It's like he starts, he does combos, he gets away from you, he uses magic. He combos you, sword catches on fire, combos you with that, uses magic. And then it gets into a point where he starts like doing some crazy acrobatic shit, and you're like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
how do I deal with this?
It's like
What I had to do is I summoned 2 people, like from PvP, and then they messaged me, said that there was a summon sign at the beginning. Summon that guy. It was 4-on-3. Everybody else died except for me. And then his
Yeah.
health bar was so low that I could just like, I used the Great Sword of Astora for most of the game, because the charge up attack is so fucking good. Like you kind of run forward and then like up, and it launches them into the air, but you're
Yeah.
doing damage the whole time. And you could like, there'd be like a group of hollows in the hallway. You just like dice all of them. It was great. And it was a guard break as well. I'm fairly sure. And that's pretty. I just like got away from him and did it. And he moved towards me, but the way, like where he moved was like right in front of my sword. And you can kind of direct it. You know how like in some games you direct things and it's like super slow.
yeah.
That's the kind of way that is. And I just fucking poked him in his ass and he died. And I was like, that was after
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 tries of like trying to do it alone. And I was like, I just can't do it. It's too fast. It's too hard. There's no way to predict what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
Unless
like
there isn't, we're just done.
it's like people who were like, man, if you summon, you're a fucking idiot or something like that. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
using a mechanic in the game. Wow, I'm an idiot. All right, like
I think Fadi said that one time.
yeah,
He's like, if you need to summon, you're a coward.
it's like
But
okay.
I think he meant it as a joke. But the way that his tone is and his inflection, like nothing he ever says sounds like a joke.
Is he like? Is he
He's from the UK.
Okay. Sometimes things can probably be
So like, yeah,
misconstrued.
I'm sure. I can guarantee you it sounded misconstrued because he summons all the time. Like in his videos, he'll have summons all the time.
Well, it's just like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, what's the point?
Like, you know, if you're really trying to go for a hard mode, why not? But it's just like summons
I did that in
are.
Dark Souls 1 and it was fine. Like I didn't summon very much in Dark Souls 1. And unless I like the only time I ever did was when I
summoned for the Ornstein and Smaug, and that was it.
I only did summons for NPCs.
No, that's wrong. I did Ornstein Smaug, and I did Iron Tarkus for the Iron Golem.
Yeah, I only
Because
summoned
Tarkus is.
NPCs. Tarkus fucking dominates that motherfucker.
It's because he's an asshole otherwise. So Tarkus, I remember
He just picks you up and throws you off.
the two best friends, Wooly and Pat, were playing. Awesome playthrough, by the way. It's great.
Yes, it is really good.
Even though some people get really fucking mad in the comments, but that's the comments for you.
They always do.
But either way, I really liked it because it's just like kind of like the mentor and the like in the student type deal with like Wooly and Pat. Anyway, I'm gonna stop sucking their dick, but because I love them. But anyway, okay. But it's just like the way they got it. It's just like Tarkus just like stun locked them off the side of the building, so they didn't even have to touch him. So it's just like boom, 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 and it's just like. And they were like Tarkus.
We should play through those games.
Yeah, I had Tarkus's armor from my guy most of the game. It's so good.
Yeah, and you find it like in the rafters because he fell.
Fucking idiot. He was a hero.
He was a fucking hero.
He was the last one, wasn't he, of his knights?
Yeah.
Fucking fell and
The rest of
died.
them died. He had heavy ass armor, dude. What are you fucking
I know, but like, fucking come
It's the
on,
only way to
dude.
get across through the Tanner Orlando. You gotta walk on the rafters to get anywhere, you fucking idiot.
I know, but like, really?
You think the Panty Guardians are gonna be like, oh, hey, it's Black Iron Targets, let's leave them alone. No, they're gonna throw their little fucking
That's not
daggers
what
at
I'm
him.
saying, but you think Tarkus would not be that
You
stupid.
think you'd be like, okay, let's take some armor off here.
Oh, yeah, take your armor off or something.
and leave it where?
in his ass.
He already has that great big sword up there. You can't fit it.
Oh man, I know one
There's
part.
no bags of holding in Dark Souls.
I know one thing I'm not looking forward to in Dark Souls Remastered and doing again is that fucking bow bastard and Orlando.
Oh, the two silver knights on the top of it.
Why?
That comes back in Dark Souls 3, by the way.
Why?
That comes back in Dark Souls 3.
Why?
Yep.
It's bullshit.
Happens again.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
No matter what armor, if you're a big boy like I was, and you can tank actual hits from bosses, it's just
Because it's a
boing.
great arrow.
Oh, great arrow, more like great piece of shit, right there.
It is. It's fucking shitty.
Like why? Like that always pissed me off. Like I get it's a bigger arrow, but like I put so much into my poise that I was like I could tank pretty much any hit, and one arrow was like.
Yeah, it comes back in Dark Souls 3.
And I slide like a fucking soap in the fucking
I'm sure you
tub.
know you go to Anne Orlando in Dark
Yeah.
Souls 3. That comes back. It's not 2 though. It's just 1.
Yeah.
It's just 1.
But either way,
He's
it's
still
like
an asshole.
fuck.
And he's still hard to kill, of course, but
Yeah.
just 1.
It's like why? Why are you gonna do that?
Because Dark Souls.
Oh, Dark Souls.
What's next on the docket?
Well, we did mention Nintendo for a little bit because fucking Dark Souls Remastered's coming on the Switch, baby.
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk about Nintendo Labo. I just showed Keenan the Labo video for the first
Okay.
time.
Can I give my first impression?
Yeah, your first impressions because you saw
Okay.
it just now.
It looks cool. It looks gimmicky though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It has that taste of like the advertising for like, ooh, Wii motion controls. You know what I
But is there really anything without a gimmick though?
But there isn't. Of course, there's not. You have the Xbox. It's a massive entertainment.
4K is a gimmick.
4K is a gimmick. Absolutely, it is a gimmick. And it's
HDR is
pointless.
a gimmick.
HDR is absolutely a gimmick, and it doesn't.
They're all
doesn't
buzzwords.
really do anything.
They're all buzzwords. Like I know, like higher frame rates is awesome, but they use it as a buzzword.
Yeah, they do, and they killed it.
It's not necessarily a gimmick, but it's like kind of a gimmick because they're like
It'll-
60
it'll
FPS,
push-
it's 4K.
It'll push consoles. If you say
Yeah.
60 frames per second, you will sell more consoles probably.
You will. Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I got from Labo. Was that like, oh, it's kind of gimmicky? It looks cool. It definitely
I
looks
think
cool.
it's cool. It's just like
It's more interactive, that's for sure. It kind of shows off what the Switch is all about, and like how
And
the Joy-Cons can
it-
interact with other things. and how they really
it
work.
uses the AR sensor on
Yeah.
the right Joy-Con really well because it can track the motion and
Yeah.
everything. And that robot game looked pretty cool.
Yes, that looked
There's a
really
game
fucking
on the
cool.
Wii U they showed off called Project Giant Robot a long time ago.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's what that turned into because that
Oh,
looked like
really?
it. Yeah.
Did it get?
It was like
canceled, or-
some really early like tech demo
Oh, okay.
that they were working on.
Yeah,
But-
it looks interesting. Not really.
Most people-
Is there
well-
anything else out about it right now?
Well, I
that you
think
know?
not a whole lot. I'm assuming that you'd like buy some sort of software for it and then you buy the packs. I know the packs are like $80 or something. And I'm assuming now most people are freaking out about it and so people are cheap, some people are, just wondering why it costs so much, but there's a lot of people
in a
who
certain circumstance, I feel like that's reasonable.
I think it is reasonable. I'm
It's
just
not
saying that
$80.
I'm just
I'm saying like if you like depending on what it like that robot thing, $80 to $100, sure.
mm,
Not $100. $80.
Not $100.
$80, sure. Fine. The little one that's just a cardboard fucking version of those nanobots.
yeah, I'm assuming that
$80.
I think
Fuck
that
off.
I don't think it's $80 for like individual. I think it's like they come in like a variety pack and then you get however many different
okay.
ones.
That makes more sense.
Now, I can understand.
Still expensive because it's fucking
Yeah,
cardboard.
I
but
get it.
makes
I
sense.
get it. I totally get that. All of that, I have that in my mind.
Yeah.
But also, people are cheap as fuck
Yeah.
now. And I can
I mean,
understand.
to
I
a
can-
certain extent, I understand it because like people like $80 in Canada. That's
It's-
8
it's a
hours
big
of
deal.
work. That's one.
It
that's
is.
one full shift for me. That's a full 8-hour
Yeah.
shift for me.
And I can understand that. It's like, I'm
And
not
and
saying.
it's not $80. It's $89.99.
Yeah.
So it's $90.
And I'm not
So
even saying.
that's my shift plus the premium I get for doing overnights. But anybody else that works an 8-hour day shift would not have that premium. Would not be able to get this through
Yeah.
one shift of work.
I know that. And I have all of that
Yeah,
acknowledged. And I'm
course.
not even saying that I'm gonna get any Labo stuff necessarily right away.
It
I'm
is-
just
it is
saying that
interesting, though, and
it is
cool.
interesting. I'm just saying that most people now, it doesn't matter what the product is, like feel fairly
Of
entitled.
course.
And I get it's your money, but it's just like
You're paying
like people they're penny pinching. They want everything for like $20,
Yeah.
and that's just
You know
not
what
possible.
you know what I almost just said, and I want to fucking punch myself in the face for almost
What?
saying it. I almost said you're paying for a service, but you're not because games are not fucking services.
Yeah.
They're entertainment media and they're art.
But either way, it's
so
just
you're
like
you're paying for a form of entertainment. It's like you would pay for your cable bill. What's
You're
your
not getting-
cable bill? $120 a month? Pay
You're not-
$90. You have fun for 2 months.
you're not getting fucking anything for $20 unless it's
No.
an indie game.
No.
It's just not possible. Either way,
And then-
what
or
I'm
you're on Steam
thinking,
and it's a summer sale.
what I'm thinking is that it's not just normal cardboard. I'm assuming that it's
Well, it
'Cause
has
peop-
Nintendo
peop-
logo. It's Nintendo cardboard. It has
oh,
Nintendo. Fuck! You're making fun of it. Nintendo cardboard.
but like I think
Shit.
I don't know, like if it's normal cardboard that's weird,
Yeah.
but I'm assuming it's probably higher quality and maybe more durable because
It's
like
recycled cardboard.
that's a lot of money.
I'm sure there's probably some like, and even then, I'm sure there's probably some program that you could send like stuff that you don't use anymore for Labo back to Nintendo, and then they can
Yeah.
repurpose it. So like, it could be some sort of environmentally friendly type deal where it's
Could
like,
be.
oh, we have all.
It's just like
we have all of this trash. Let's make something fun with it.
and even though I just said
Which
like, you
that
know,
makes perfect sense.
there's some penny pinching happening with some people. It's
course.
just like you do need to make sure it's worth that. And it does look worth it. The concept is worth it, especially that robot one seems pretty neat.
Yeah.
but it's just like
if it's a full-fledged game, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
If it's like some weird kind of like, oh, you buy a variety pack, you get 5 different things. You get a fishing rod, you get a house, you get one of those nanobots.
like I get the
robot, and
the-
you get a.
I think the robot's separate.
the steering wheel.
The robot's its
Well,
own.
I'm assuming it's all in the package, right?
Yeah.
If they're all just like 5 different tiny tech demos, it's kind of shitty.
Okay, so
But
I can see.
Considering the robot thing is alone, I'm assuming it's a full game on its own under the Labo.
I'm assuming.
Like, brand.
Yeah, I'm assuming the variety packs are gonna be smaller experiences and smaller like you build this and then you've created like a little thing that can move, or you've created a little piano or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the
piano looks
robot,
fucking cool, though.
and then the robot's gonna be the big like Labo game.
Yeah.
I'm assuming anyway. And it's
Yeah,
a cool
that makes sense.
concept.
It's kind of like Amiibos, how like that shit works. You know what I mean? Like you have
Yeah.
Amiibos that can be run across all these different types of games, but only certain Amiibos run with certain games.
And I think it's super cool idea,
Yeah.
especially like for kids and stuff. Like it kind of gives them like, oh, you can kind of do like a craft or something, and
Yeah.
then kind of like use it with your Switch and shit.
Yeah.
But I think some people are obviously going a little overboard with like how they feel about it. I think like it's just like that's just with anything now though. It's just like people are always like crazy
Yeah, they're
about
always
it.
super mad about shit.
There's always like just negativity everywhere, but it's just like I think it's just Nintendo being Nintendo, and I'm honestly not surprised. Like I was surprised by the idea because it's cool, but I'm not surprised that they're trying something like this.
Yeah.
Like when Nintendo comes up with some crazy new idea, I'm like,
'Cause
cool.
It usually works.
I'm not like, I
usually
want this.
What was
They're the only people that do it
What was
anyway.
that game that was coming out? That like it's a shooter, but the more kills you get, the bigger you get, and the more
Oh, that's
kills you get, the smaller you get.
Morphe's or
When is that
something,
coming out?
or Morphe's Law or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think. I don't know when that comes out, but I know that's coming to
That
Switch.
is a fucking cool idea.
It is a cool idea.
Is that made by Nintendo?
It's not made by Nintendo, but I think it might be an exclusive indie for Nintendo,
God, Nintendo.
or at least console
They
exclusive.
always get like these cool ass like
Little-
ideas. You know what I mean?
I love
like,
the little like really like hidden gem type shit.
Yeah, it's super. 'Cause you could spend okay. Arguably, the eShop is fucking trash.
On Wii U maybe.
The Wii U, 3DS.
3DS has a lot of good games though.
Yes, but it's fucking trash to find them. Like you look up like when I bought Monster Hunter Generations, I bought it digital, right?
Yeah.
I looked up Monster Hunter, and it took me to
Okay, yeah,
tons of
3DS
videos.
one's trash.
tons of pictures, and then at the very end, it was like, "Hey, do you want to buy Monster Hunter Stories?"
No.
Like, no, I want Generations.
Okay.
Monster Hunter Stories is cool. Don't get me wrong.
3DS's eShop is trash. Wii U's isn't that bad, I thought. It's not
It's
the
not as
best,
bad.
but you search what you want and you find it.
Yeah, it's not as bad as 3DS.
The Switch's eShop is really good.
I haven't even seen it, so I wouldn't know.
I'd have to show you, but it's very clean, very easy to use.
I'm glad they're taking. I'm glad they're taking steps in the right direction to kind of make digital a big thing now, because like physical is slowly fading out, which is a good and bad thing all at the same time.
Yeah.
As much as I like having physicals, like I'd rather just
Yeah,
like I don't want to go to the store and buy a game.
I totally get that. It's just like I like having the thing because it's just like I'm not like tied to an account or something. That's always a scary
yeah,
thing.
that is true too. I've lost some accounts too, and that have got.
I've just
games on
always-
them that I'm like,
I don't know. Like I get the pros and cons of both, and it's hard to like move around with that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I see where you're coming from.
But yeah, I think that Labo is still a lot more to come with
And
that.
I'm sure it's something that'll last the entire cycle of the console as well.
I'm sure there'll be new
It's like,
Labos
oh, here's this new
stuff.
thing for Labo. It's like, oh, cool.
It's just some new shit that they're
yeah, fuck
trying out,
Fuck
and
it.
and
Let them try it out. Why not?
it seems like with new stuff, like people think like it's just gonna be like, oh, their other games are gonna be gone type thing. No,
No,
they're not that. They're not stupid.
No.
They know that people want Metroid Prime 4. They know that people want, a new Kirby game. They know people want Dark Souls remastered. They know people want all these hardcore games on their system.
They'll get
Because
them all.
it's become quite a because there's quite a few casual games as well, but like games for everybody. But it's like there are quite a few hardcore games on there as well. And I think they've learned from like the Wii that they want to like. The thing with the Wii is that they were like going full casual. There were a lot of hardcore games too, like some, but like they went full casual.
Yeah.
And
They
then
went too casual.
Wii U, they tried to go full hardcore. which didn't work, and
No.
the marketing was shit. I love the console, but they fucked it. And then they fucked it. And then
They went to it and they fucked it. They fucking. Reggie's just
uncle.
sitting in his office. He's like, these fucking marketing boys. They bent it and they fucked it. It's all over the place.
But with Switch, it's like everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows what it can do. There's games on it for everybody.
Yeah.
And it like, you know, if good old father comes home from work and he wants to play some Doom, and he's like, "Oh man, I love me some Doom," and then he leaves.
Frustrations out on some demons.
And then he leaves, and then his son's like, "Hey, I want to play some Mario." And then his dad punches him in the fucking face and says, "I want to play Mario."
No, he
now.
pulls out his cardboard Labo gun, and he fills
There
it with
was
bullets
one,
and
didn't
shoots
you see
him.
that?
No.
There was one where it was like the IR sensor was like pointing out this way,
No, I didn't see
and
it.
then it was like,
Oh.
they
No,
were like,
I
so someone made like a little meme on Twitter where it was like Doom Labo,
damn.
Doom VR Labo, and it's like it was like showing it
Doom
because he was
already
like
has VR,
cocking
doesn't
it. Yeah,
But
VFR.
apparently it's like makes everyone sick. That
It makes
plays
no for me. To me, it makes no sense because like it kind of takes the speed element out of the game. Like for Fallout and Skyrim VR, I can see it because you're a little more walking around type thing. But like Doom, you're like,
Yeah,
whoa,
you're, like,
man.
dodging, weaving, fucking
But like,
throwing shit.
but and then Doom VFR, you're like, let me teleport.
I like the
like-
games that implement like walking.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, let me, oh, this super, this supposed to be extremely immersive experience is now significantly less immersive because all of a sudden I see this dotted line and a bubble on the ground, and now I'm here. Like,
But yeah, it's Labo is interesting because it's like Nintendo's trying to find new experiences for them to do that other people aren't doing. Because they said themselves, like people have asked, like, are you gonna have 4K support? Are you gonna like you know like are you gonna make a new like dock that'll have 4K support? Are you gonna do VR? And then they straight up said like if we do, we're doing something different, and if we do what other people do, we die. That's literally what they
and
said.
they're not wrong.
They're not wrong,
They're
and
not
not
wrong.
that, and not that they would die like
Okay, but
die.
Here's the reason why that makes perfect sense, and why they arguably probably would die. Is
Yeah.
because everybody already owns a PS4 and an Xbox.
Yeah,
Why would
exactly.
they buy a new console just for Nintendo's VR?
Yeah.
A lot of people already have PCs. Why would they get any sort of Nintendo VR when
And-
the Vive has been out and that's had 3 different versions? The Oculus has come out, had 3 different versions.
I would like to see Nintendo VR
It'd be
at some
cool.
point.
But they've already created a console good enough to the point where they don't need those gimmicks like VR.
Oh, they
or
don't.
4K. They have
VR
gimmicks,
is
of
a
course,
gimmick.
Like oh, you can take it anywhere.
Yeah, but, like,
here's the
that's
Joy-Cons. It's
that's
2
really good.
controllers that come with the console.
Yeah.
But it's gimmicky, but it's a good gimmick. And then
VR is not a good gimmick in a
VR
way.
is a gimmick that's too expensive to even consider, even
Yeah.
now.
And like down the line, it would be cool to see like a Nintendo VR.
Yeah,
But I think
eventually,
that
sure.
like they wouldn't die in terms of a company because they've been around since like the 1800s and they've made tons of fucking
card decks.
yeah, they've made tons of money and they're not going anywhere anytime
God, no.
soon.
Nintendo's
They
gonna be
could
around forever.
fail like 3 more consoles and they'd still be around. But it's
They have
just
so much
like
money, it's unreal.
it is.
It's like Wall Street. Like,
But it's just yeah. But it's like they would fail in terms of the console. They would die
they're
if
not
they
in an
would try to
Ouya
do the same thing.
situation.
Yeah. It's like they're doing things like Labo and like all that
Yeah.
to supplement. They're not doing VR. The closest thing I saw to VR and that was
The robot.
The
thing,
robot
they put
thing.
The eyes down. But the,
because like that's on the TV still, but it's like still like because you're
yeah.
and motion controls come a long way too. Like a lot of people hated Waggle and like yeah I know that because a lot of the games were bad, but like Skyward Sword was really good because it was basically like
Yeah, but they used Wii Motion Plus.
Wii Motion Plus changed the game. It literally changed everything. But like, cause Wii Motion Plus was really good.
It was so smooth. I remember
Like-
playing
like-
Skyward Sword, and you
it's
could
just-
like twist the sword individual. Like you could be like, I'm gonna go like this, and then Link
Yeah.
would do that, and then you try to go further, but it's like I'm gonna break my arm, and if I do, will Link break his arm too, and I won't be able to use that hand? I don't know. I don't want to try it.
But it's just like I don't like that game. I think like I know I got good reviews and everything, but I think it's underrated. Skyward Sword.
It is.
Because like people are like, oh, it's like fairly like it's really linear or whatever. It's like I get that, but it's just like
Still fun.
it had a lot of strategy to it that most Zelda games don't. Like I think
never
that
even finished it yet. Honestly, I got
think
stuck.
Breath of the Wild does have fair bit of strategy to it because your weapons and like durability and stuff. But like Skyward Sword was like you can't just be like hit him from the right,
like
hit
the
him for the right,
swords, like the shield, it's like,
because he
okay, you
would
gotta cut
block
the
it.
shields.
So if you're fighting this guy, you're like I'm gonna hit him to the right all the time. No, block, block, block. So you'd have to come back around left, right, down, up, stab.
Hold the sword up in the air, do the skyward strike. Yeah, man.
You had to figure out.
I like that game. I like the flying in that game too. Like I would spend.
Yeah.
I'd literally spend like an hour. I'd just jump off and just fly around.
It
was cool, man.
It was like Wind Waker in the boat. You just go out in the boat and
you just
do your
adventure
thing.
around, and there was like so many different islands in what's it called?
Skyloft. Yeah.
There was a ton of different islands in Skyloft for you to venture around to. Like I would always just I'd just go over, check up with the circus dude, be like, hey man, what's up? How's the business? He's like, dead. I'm like, cool. And I leave, and I find a chest, and I'm like, oh dude, this is fucking sweet. And I fly down, find the goblin guy that's living underneath of Skyloft when you skyward strike the third grave from the back. You're like, oh, look at that, I can push this grave. Cool, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, a new quest? Awesome.
But yeah, it's like I don't think that people just get too worked up, dude. Like, do you really not expect them to do this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so used to it at this point.
Instead of
They've
VR,
done so much
Nintendo's
crazy
done,
stuff.
Like, alternate reality.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Go, for example. That's Niantic, but it's still
their company.
Nintendo.
They've branched out on a
They
lot
have
of
AR
stuff.
games on the DSi, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, there was AR on that.
That's when that started.
And then the 3DS had the AR cards that came with it. You used it, and there were the AR games that came on it. I played those.
That's basically what Labo is. It's just a bunch of condensed.
It's kind of like AR, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What's next? What's next on the docket?
Keenan hangs himself. I'm sorry, it's on the list. No,
It's time to go, boy.
I think that it is time for the last big boy topic. Star Wars Last Jedi.
Okay, so I'll get Andrew to put a timestamp on the screen, like a link. Spoiler. We're gonna go like super deep into this movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. It's fucking.
Go see it. One of the best Star Wars movies ever made.
So good. It's so fucking good.
It'll surprise you. Trust us.
So we're gonna get into that. I'll let future Andrew take it away and say,
yeah.
We'll go to this point of the podcast. You don't want to spoil? Fuck off, Andrew.
Yeah. Fuck off, Andrew.
Take it away, idiot.
All right. Well, we went to see it on what?
Wait. Let's not do this yet. Let's take a break. Go get some drinks.
Oh yeah.
Come back. Sit down. Talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, 'cause we're dead.
Right.
Might be.
You want to pause it?
Just pause it. Yeah. Okay, we're back. I think. Is it just recording? Okay, I think I am.
Yeah, I'm recording.
Yes. So, we're back.
Yeah.
We have cancer, lung cancer now. We're back.
No, let's not use that as the we're back. Go.
All right, we're back.
Hello,
we're back.
hello,
We got drinks, so we're not dying.
Welcome back.
And you know, how's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah,
Star
I
Wars.
think Star
How
Wars.
was it?
Okay, it was garbage. I hate movies. I hate Star Wars. Get out of here. See you guys next time. No. Anyway, what I thought about it, it was probably one of the best Star Wars movies ever made.
Yeah.
And it rivals Empire Strikes Back.
It definitely does.
It's
And like I now like looking back, because I've watched Empire recently, like
Yeah.
literally 2 days ago, I took it to work with me, and I watched it on my phone.
Yeah.
I legitimately cannot tell which one is better.
It's hard.
I love Empire, but I I love The Last Jedi just as much.
Last Jedi just does a lot of stuff that Empire can't and won't, couldn't have done, and just does a lot of things that I don't think it would have done even if it could, which it could, like story wise. It was just kind of like It was like you thought there's gonna be one thing happening, and then this thing happens, and it's like and this and it happens,
Yeah.
and this happens,
It-
and you think you're always on the edge of your seat because the
It-
way they made
like
it was just like,
it-
whoa, I don't know what's
It was like
happening.
if M. Night Shyamalan took a fucking hit a speed before he made a script. It was all over.
Yeah, it's like
But it was a good all over.
it was a good all over the place. It wasn't all over the place. It was more that they were like kind of lulling you into a false sense of security at
Yeah.
every turn. You thought you knew how things were gonna happen. That you didn't know.
No, you had no idea.
You didn't know at
You
all.
had no idea. You were fucked.
But I went in and like I was super excited when I saw Force Awakens, and I still think Force Awakens is one of the better ones in the series as well. Force Awakens is really good.
Yeah. I'd say
But
it's
like-
better than Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. And I still love the movie, and I was super excited when I saw that. But like, this movie is so much
It was so much better.
more. It was the Star Wars movie that I wanted, and I understand why Force Awakens had to be what it was. But it's
Yes.
just like, this did so much new,
Yeah.
and people still complained about it, and I don't
Of
know
course they
why.
did.
It's just
Cool to hate good things.
It's Empire because it has walkers. Oh my god.
Yeah, they were showing the contract. Okay, because the First Order is basically just the Empire that got like hostily taken over.
Yeah,
That's what the First Order is.
and it's the Empire that
And then-
got good.
Yeah,
'Cause they're really
and then
good.
They have these like animalistic AT-ATs or whatever they're called. That like you see in the scene where Luke, he's like standing in front of the blast doors in the base,
Yeah.
and they're all like kind of zeroing in on them. He's like fire on that on like shoot shit at him.
Yeah,
Like,
shoot everything.
They're all
Shoot everything
shooting at
at
him, but like before they do, these new AT-AT walkers kind of position themselves like and bend down almost like they have joints.
Yeah,
Like instead of like it's so hard to, it's almost
It's
like,
like an
like an ape,
yeah.
which is a weird comparison because they don't
It-
look like it,
but
they
it's an ape.
move like it, and
Yeah.
they obviously they can't like climb and do crazy shit like that, but like the way that they position themselves was like, best analogy was like if King Kong was to lean down and pick up something,
Yeah.
or like do that type of shit. That's what it looked like, and it was so fucking cool. And then you see like the old AT-AT standing beside it, and they're like these puny little like specks.
Yeah,
It's like, damn, the Empire.
they're
fucking
bigger. They're
sucked.
bigger and
No
better,
wonder
dude.
they got blown the.
In
shit
one
out.
part of the movie, you see like older style AT, not older style, but like older model AT-ATs like hanging from the ceiling, just jingling around,
Yeah,
like when they're in that whatever that
Yeah.
was, that ship.
because I'm sure they're still probably making them as like backups.
Yeah,
And then
but it's just like they're just dangling from the ceiling like they're nothing.
yeah, and then you have like BB-8 like driving
Controlling one.
controlling
because
one of the automated
they've-
ones.
They've like made them completely automated. It seems because like at least
Yeah.
those ones.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not? And like the way that I see it, right, is that like right now in the world, like current 2017, 2018.
Yeah,
like,
2018.
New year, new me.
Yeah.
We're going down a path of more automation for basic jobs.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like the apex of that, where it's like you're using it in a war situation where like
Yeah.
you're not casualties of lives are not happening. It's more casualty of hardware,
Yeah.
which makes sense. I don't think that's
Well, it makes
I don't
sense.
think that's like a grand moral high ground thing that like the
No.
movie was trying to do. But I think it was
think-
kind of
I think
representative
it-
of like what
It's better than having to lose a ton of people.
it's true. I think so too.
But also,
it could be
machines
dangerous. It
can
could be
be
super
pretty
dangerous.
scary.
It could be super dangerous.
But still, it's like there's so many. It's like this is kind of a side tangent from Star Wars,
Yeah,
but
of
it's just
like
like
we always do.
there's so many things that can do such a better job.
Mhm.
Like I know there's like this is a weird thing, but it's just 'cause the people I talk to at the college and everything. But it's just like bricklaying, for example. There's like bricklaying robots. They can do it
Yeah.
like.
And they have no problem doing it.
And like you don't have to hire some, like not saying that they can't do a good job, but hire some schmo or something, right?
The thing too
do
is
it
that
for
like,
ya?
bricklaying fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that. If you enjoy bricklaying, you have to be some sort of like insane masochistic human. Like you
Yeah.
must be. You're one of the types to have like You're like the Christian Grey type, like 50 Shades of Grey ass shit. Like,
Yeah, like I know that our buddy Jason,
mm,
he did try to do some videos with us, but I don't think any of them actually worked out. But we'll probably have him on at some point. Maybe on the this show or either one of
probably
the
podcast.
probably
I
podcast.
feel like a podcast is a lot easier for guests to come on.
He'd be good for the podcast too.
And then like later on, get them into like a video or something.
But
like
either way, like my college is like College of Craft and
that.
Design.
We need to get Hannah on here at some point too.
It is a college of like for craft and design, but also like there's
So like macaroni crowns.
macaroni craft, but it's just like there's the digital shit too, which I'm into.
Yeah, digital macaroni crafts.
Digital macaroni craft, and like he's come on to do that and like web design and all that stuff, but it's just like he's like, I'm gonna get into things that robots can't do before all of this, like,
Yeah, that's a smart
because
move.
that's the thing. It's like
There
he was a
will be
brick.
probably
He was
no
he was a
robot.
bricklayer. He was a bricklayer. It's like he's gonna get replaced by a robot. There's roofing robots now
Yeah.
that can do it
Which,
easily.
Thank fucking God for those goddamn roofing robots.
It's just like
Have you-
that's just
if you've
saves
ever
a
roofed
bunch
a
of
house
dumbass.
before, I'm so sorry. I'm
Yeah, I'm
so sorry.
sorry
It is the
for you.
worst.
I would never want to do something.
Oh, I've
like
done it
that.
multiple times, and every time I want to die. Like I consider like
Jumping off.
legitimately there was one day that I did. Not that I jumped off, but like that okay, this is gonna be a little story time outside of Star Wars, and then we'll get right back to Star Wars. I was on a roof with my uncle. My uncle owns a eavesdrop roofing window company, right? He does all that type of shit, like construction. Essentially, he owns a construction company. I was helping him. Me and my other uncle were helping him roof one of his friend's houses. In the back, it's one of those houses that, like, you know how in the front it's like one story, and then you get to the back and it's like almost like a slope, right? So the house is built on a hill, and then the back is like 3 stories. So like you have a basement, the middle section, the upstairs, and the upstairs is the first floor, and then you go downstairs, and that's like the big basement area that you can get out through the back. So it's not technically a basement, but it is a basement. Anyway, he ripped up a shingle, and the way he did it, I was kind of standing a little bit behind him, ripping one up behind him, and he swung it back, and it hit me in the eye, and I fell, like to a point where like I fell on my back, and then I spun around and slid and caught my feet in the eavesdrop of this 3-story fall. That like the only thing underneath of me was like a fire pit with concrete, and it's like, had I fallen, I'd either breaking a leg or died. And I was like, is that better than doing this right now? Could I just like,
Could I
oops, I
just
slipped off the eavesdrop.
Could I just like just wiggle a little bit and fall? Like, yeah. Anyway,
Star Wars.
back to Star Wars. Star Wars is awesome,
It's good.
and
it
I
was really
loved
good.
it. Yeah,
I liked it a lot. What did you think about like the way that Luke and Rey were connected with the Force? Like, do you think that means anything in like the grand scheme of things? Like,
No.
if they're related, or like if
Nope.
No,
I think it means nothing at all.
you think it's just like a Force connection?
Yep.
I think, you know what it could be.
I don't think there's anything connected between
You
them
know what I
besides
think
the
it could
Force.
be.
What?
Now that Luke is dead, spoiler alert, idiots.
Oh!
Now that Luke is dead, Rey and Kylo are the last Jedi, right?
Yep.
They're Kylo's not necessarily a Jedi, but he was at the Jedi Academy. He has Force power, whatever. They're essentially what's left of Force users, besides what Leia did that one time when she pulled herself back into the cockpit, which is
fucking
fucking
insane.
badass as shit.
I know, it's like,
But we'll
it's
talk about that after this.
Ooh.
But the way that I see it is that like, maybe the Force is trying to get them to connect in a way that's like, you know, nobody believes in this mystical power anymore. Like we can
we can make beautiful Force babies
no,
together.
I don't think the Force wants them to fuck. I think it's more like the Force is dwindling in the world kind of deal, right? And like, not a lot of people believe in it. Not a lot of people want to believe in it. And those who do have like this kind of weird connection now, because there's not as many as there were like in the Old Republic or in the prequel movies or 4, 5, and 6.
Those metachlorians are stagnant, dog.
You mean sperm?
Yeah.
That's what Kylo's thinking.
Yeah. She's like, I
Jesus.
gotta make some Force babies, dude. 'Cause I'm swole as fuck.
Did
that was one of the biggest surprises of the movie, and that's not even really a big part of the movie.
Swallow.
He's fucking huge.
Okay. Because it was kind of unclear to me. Did Luke see Kylo sitting there with Rey as Rey saw him when he opened the door?
I think
Or did
when he
just
opened
know
the door,
what the fuck was up?
maybe he knew it was up, but I know he like.
Because it looked like almost he went right for him. You know what I mean? To like push him away. But he wasn't physically there, so I don't know if it was a case of like he knew what the fuck was up, or like he physically saw him sitting there and he's like, no, shit.
Could be both, or not both. That's fucking stupid.
It could be either. I don't think we'll ever know, but yeah. Anyway, Leia's Force thing.
That was awesome.
Super cool.
And just a small point before we continue.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Admiral Akbar. He's fucking
Holy
dead.
fuck, dude.
R.I.P.
God damn.
He got murked.
Rest in peace, Admiral. Ripped from the cockpit of his own ship.
He didn't even get a chance to survive one more movie, and he got fucked.
Poor bastard.
Right up.
Poor bastard.
Damn. Rest in peace. He's my
Oh
homie.
man, when that I would have been fine had she died that way.
Yeah, no.
Because
But
even like I leaned over to you, I was like, that was the most unceremonious shit I've ever seen, and it was perfect.
yeah.
Like just, oh shit.
But I think it was. I think it was even better that it was like.
She just reached her hand.
Cause she like she's always had like that connection because she could
feel life
in Return of the
inside her.
Jedi. Yeah, and like Return of the Jedi, like she felt that, like you said, and like she knew that things were happening.
Yeah.
But it's just like when she was in like the most danger ever, like life and death, her Force powers came out in full blast.
And she's a
saved her
Skywalker
ass.
too, so it makes
It makes
sense
sense.
for her to be able to kind of control.
It's just like she can't really control it like that normally, but it's
Yeah,
like
but she
the untapped power
Well,
comes
the
out
thing
when
is
she
too,
was like
is that
in
I'm sure
in
she
danger.
probably eventually could.
Yeah,
But she's never been trained in that way.
never been trained.
So there's still probably this like stagnant like ability to be able to use the Force, but she's never really trained it to a point where like she has like a Jedi's power
Yeah.
of being able to manipulate the Force to how she wants to use it.
Also, I think it's like really hard to like actually teach an adult. Like,
Oh, I'm sure it probably is, of course. And it could be a case where like
and even Luke's not even a full Jedi. Like,
no,
he
he
didn't
just
even
kind of
complete
taught
his training.
himself shit. And like
Yeah.
Obi-Wan was like, "This is what you do." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
like Obi-Wan was like the last like legit Jedi, like straight up.
Yeah.
And then like you have Jedi now, but like they're not
They're
they're
really not Jedi.
They're more they're Force users.
They take some principles from
I
the
don't even think they
Jedi.
do
but-
anymore.
well, not even much, but it's just
Because
like they
not
took.
even Luke does. He's like, I severed my connection with the Force.
Oh,
Fuck
he,
it.
like,
I don't need it.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
want it.
until he did his big fucking insane shit.
God,
but it's
that
just like
fight scene.
I know.
Him and Kylo. There was two awesome fight scenes in that movie.
Kylo and Rey.
Woo!
That was so good.
I mean, I think I talked to you about this, but I saw my aunt on Christmas Day, and her, my uncle, and their kids are like super into Star Wars, and like
Yeah.
the kids all have already seen 4, 5, and 6, and the way that my uncle's doing it is the way that shit should be done. He's showing them 4, 5, and 6. They just finished episode 3, like 1,
Yep.
2, and 3. They just finished 3. They're gonna do Rogue One next. That leads into 4, and then they're gonna and they already watched episode 7 because they went to see it in theaters, and they went to see 8 in theaters as well. And my aunt was like, "That was the hypest shit I've ever seen in my whole goddamn
Yeah.
life." Like that fight scene, and she talked about like the laser swords as well, where like you know how like in the Old Republic, for example, you have like the
Yeah.
laser swords that are like yellow, right? And I feel like that was a derivative of them that just had like the
She-
edged,
They had like edged like
yeah,
plasma.
and like the
something.
laser whip or whatever. I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna call them laser whatever, just for the sake of brevity. But yeah, that. Oh man, that fight scene was fucking.
That makes the Emperor's guards look like punks.
They
like
basically
the
were the Emperor's guards.
They
but, like,
they
super
were
beast
like they
form.
were they looked like them, but like Emperor's guards were like, I got a stick. But like these guys were like, I got a whip and I got a crazy knife
And
and
there was like 8 of them all around too.
yeah, and we're
And
all
they were, like,
super trained.
Yeah, and they were fucking
Almost killed
up
them.
Kylo. And Kylo's like this powerful ass motherfucker. And they were beating the shit out of him almost.
Yeah.
Like what was the last thing that happened? I forget. That the thing that we were like, oh shit. Like what was it?
I
Did
think
she throw?
she threw the lightsaber to him. He grabbed it. He turned it on and like went through the guy's head.
Yes, that's right. And he had it. He had him like not in a headlock, but what was it? He was like he was holding Kylo like around the neck, like in a chokehold.
So it was like right here.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
he
like
turned
the
it
laser sword
on.
was on his neck.
On his neck.
And he turned the
And
laser
he turned
sword
it on.
on.
Like boop.
And like the laser sword was already on like against his neck, and Rey threw the lightsaber, and he just like turned it on and fucking threw his head. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Man.
It was
And then like
insane.
they had this moment of like just raw power where they split Luke's lightsaber in half, Luke's old lightsaber in half.
Yeah.
And that was like, what happens now?
Yeah.
Like who not deserves it, but like, because I always felt like that lightsaber picked who it went to.
Well,
'Cause
Jedi
it was
are supposed to build their own lightsabers.
I'm curious to see what Rey's will be.
Yeah, I'm assuming she'll build her own
Because she's
lightsaber.
clearly a Jedi. She's clearly going to build her own.
Do you think Luke will come back as a ghost and be like, "Yo"? No.
I think at the end he will. The end of
Yeah.
the next one.
But
I
it's
think-
just
I think the-
to
I
me,
think-
it's like I don't know how she would build a lightsaber. Somebody has to tell her how to build a lightsaber.
Okay, you know what? Maybe
Yoda?
Maybe she never met Yoda though. she never met Yoda before.
But he,
But
you know,
maybe Luke will come back
and be like, "Hey,
and
this is how to build a lightsaber."
This is what you do, and then
He'll kind of
leads her
like
to it.
top stuff off.
Yeah, and leads her to it, and then she does it, and I know for a fact at the end of the movie we'll see every single ghost. We'll see Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see Obi-Wan. We'll
Yeah.
see Luke. We'll see Yoda. We'll see. Probably no, we won't see the Emperor.
No.
Who else?
I think that's it.
I would say Mace Windu, but I doubt it.
Mace Windu. Hey guys, it's
Hey
me.
guys, it's me. It's like, what is this?
It's like,
idiot
get out of
doing?
here.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, we'll
That's
probably
pretty
see
much
all the
it.
ghosts at the end of it. Just as like a. Here's the thing. Even though there's like another trilogy, they'll probably do like a send
Yeah.
off like that.
Yoda showing up was the hypest shit,
Oh, man.
and I think it was
That
really
puppet
well
looked
handled
fucking
too.
Incredible.
It was really well handled
Was it
too. I
fully
didn't.
puppet?
Yeah, it was fully. It was
Enhanced with
fully
CG?
puppet. I think like they enhanced the eyes with CG, like when he
Yeah, it looks
blinked and
so
stuff.
much
But like otherwise, it
better.
was just puppet. It was a puppet.
And like the Jedi books, like
Yeah.
burns down the whole thing. We're like, what the fuck?
Well, no, the books are still around.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, 'cause
I
they're in
know,
the
I know,
drawer.
we
But it's
we
just
saw
like,
it. We
but
thought
yeah,
the books were
beca-
in there.
and Luke did
Burns
too.
it
Luke
down.
was like, holy shit.
Rey
But
ha-
like Yoda was like,
you know what? Luke
Yoda's
doesn't
like-
have to come back now.
I guess
She
there's
has the
Jedi
books.
I guess she could
She'll
learn how to
read the
build a
books.
She could read the books.
And that's how she'll know, like, oh, I have to build a lightsaber with the Force.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Could work out pretty good
That,
for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, Yoda showing up was
that
like
was so cool.
it was really
was
well
so
handled. I felt like all the returning characters had really well handled. Like
Mhm.
I felt like Rogue One had a lot of ham-fisted moments. Like there's R2D2 and C3PO now. There they are. And then like, but
Wait, did
it's
Rogue
just
One
like
have them? I don't remember.
for like
that.
1 second
I don't remember
in the
that.
hangar, it's like, oh, no one tells us what's going on. Okay.
I like Rogue One. Don't get me wrong.
I like Rogue One too, but like that was like
they
very-
had very on the nose.
that was like ham-fisted like for the fans type deal, and that's fine. But it's just like I find that Force Awakens even, but like this one especially, like handled it really, really well.
Yeah,
Really, really well. Like I felt like Yoda coming back felt natural
Yep.
to me.
it wasn't like pushed in there just for the sake
Yeah.
of it being there.
Because, you know, him and Yoda had a little thing going on. So, of course, he'll come back.
Yeah.
Like, why would Obi-Wan come back? Like, fuck
He
it.
doesn't give a shit about Luke anymore.
He really doesn't care.
He
I think he cares about him, but, like,
well,
it's
the
not,
thing
it's
is-
just
the
like
thing-
Yoda's kind of his master.
The thing is that Luke severed his connection with the Force, so there's no
Yeah.
way of telling like if Obi-Wan like was like, okay, like where's Luke?
And then
based
he's like,
off of that?
Yoda, you're a god. How about
Yoda
you go?
is quite literally the fucking God Emperor of Jedi.
It's insane.
Yeah. Bless him.
He's awesome.
Good old
Awesome
Yoda.
little green boy.
What else? What else is there to talk about in that movie?
It's a lot of stuff. I think one thing I liked a lot that a lot of people complained about is how Luke was written.
I liked
A lot of people are like, he's not the Luke that I grew up with. It's like, well, he's been
He's
like
disheveled.
cut off. He's disheveled and he's been cut off from the Force for however long.
Yeah.
I like that he's not perfect. He's not even, and people are like, oh, he's supposed to be the
Yeah.
hero and he's perfect. He's like, he's not even perfect in the other
He
movies.
was never even a hero.
He
killed everything.
in Return of the Jedi, he gives in to his anger and cuts Vader's hand off. He was like,
Yeah, he like, beats the fuck out of this like.
and then the Emperor's like, good, do it. It's just like
See that, and
he's not perfect, and he's not supposed to be
There's a lot of
perfect.
shit that Luke does. It's like, what the fuck?
He's like, I'm gonna kill Kylo. It's like, I know you like felt the Force, like you probably could have at least tried instead of like I'm gonna kill him.
Because the thing is, right? He saw the shit happening, and instead of leaving it be, he's the one that spurred it on.
Yep.
I liked how they handled that too.
Yeah.
They showed all the different perspectives of like exactly how they explained it through their eyes. He's like, he tried to kill me.
They really tried to make everything as gray as possible in that movie. Like when they were on that
Like,
that planet.
I can't tell if Kylo truly like wanted to kill everybody there, or it was a case of like Kylo genuinely thought that like Luke just went off the fucking handles and it was going to kill him regardless, which he
Probably
arguably was.
Yeah. I think Kylo probably took it a little too far, but
Well, burning down the Jedi Academy and killing every Padawan in there,
Yeah,
it's kind of
that's way too-
fucked up.
yeah.
It's kind of fucked up, Kylo.
Like,
motherfucker.
yeah. It's a little too
Almost
far.
as fucked up as your jank ass lightsaber.
Yeah, it's
As
weird.
much as I fucking love it, and it's so,
Cause there's no one.
it's so fucking cool.
Cause there's no one else around to make lightsabers. Snoke doesn't know that shit. The thing that I love about Snoke is that he doesn't have to be Darth Plagueis. He doesn't have to be this like big Sith Lord.
Yeah,
He's
and
just
he never was.
he's just a force sensitive evil dude, and it's great. Cause in the grand scheme of things, Snoke doesn't matter.
Yeah, Snoke,
He doesn't matter
Snoke's
at
a
all.
bitch.
There's
Kylo
always,
is what the threat is.
there's always gonna be evil, and it doesn't always have to be a Sith Lord. It's cool when it is,
Yeah.
but it doesn't always
See,
have
and
to
Kylo's
be.
not even a Sith Lord.
And it just
he's
showed that
not even
Snoke
like a
didn't
Jedi
matter
Lord.
because it was just like dead.
Yeah. He's like, Snoke? Yeah. Who?
Like imagine if the Emperor died in Empire Strikes Back. It's just like, what?
Yeah. They'd be like, what the fuck do we do now? But Snoke who?
But Snoke, it's
Who's that?
like
Who's Snoke?
I like that he's kind of a mysterious thing too. People are like, I want to know. It's like it'd be cool to know, and but it's just like he's mysterious.
Yeah.
You don't know what he is. You don't know what he was. You don't know why he made the New Order.
Yeah.
You know.
One thing I did notice is that when he got cut through, he must have been a scrawny little boy because
I think he is a
that
scrawny
lightsaber
boy.
cut him in half like lengthwise.
I think he is. Like he seemed pretty like he's super powerful with the Force, but he's very disheveled and
Probably
like
disheveled
gross.
and old.
That's why he has so many of those badass guards
And
around.
like this fucking crazy ass like what the fuck happened to him? Like who
I don't
is
know.
he?
He got stepped on.
I
by
feel
a
like it's someone that we might have seen before,
Probably not.
but
I honestly
we
just
didn't
think
really
he's
pay
some.
mind to, you know what I
I
mean?
honestly think he's just some
Just some
guy.
random dude.
He's just some random evil
That'd be
man.
cool.
He was like, "Hey, Darth Vader was pretty cool. Let's make another one of
Yeah,
those."
I'd be cool with him being some. I'd be cool with either, honestly.
That caught me off guard actually. I thought because I said this when the movies were coming out that I thought that they were gonna because in the end of Force Awakens he's like, we're gonna train you up and make you better. I thought he was gonna like do that and then Kylo wouldn't take off his mask until the 9th movie.
Yeah.
But they again, this movie just switches you around. It switched it where it's
Do you
like
like Kylo with the mask or without it? Better.
without now.
Really?
I think it's just like he was like berating him like you're never gonna be Vader. You're nothing like Vader. And then he's in the elevator and then he takes the
berates
mask.
the
And he's just like
fuck out of
boom, boom, boom because he's not Vader.
No.
And that's what Kylo Ren kind of was like in a
Vader-
way like
Vader wannabe.
Vader wannabe. And I think without his mask, it shows more of him than like a Vader-esque like
I never
villain.
thought of it that way. I thought of it like the mask is like an intimidation thing, but it wasn't. it was more of a like he just wanted to be big scary bad guy.
I
And
think
he
I-
is even
think
more
he-
so without the mask because you can see like
Yeah.
he's fucking dead.
He's dead
Like-
inside. Yeah. He's dead. Like in like he
Well,
shows
not really.
emotion.
He showed emotion when like
The
Luke,
Leia stuff?
When Luke walked out of the thing and he's like kill him, kill him. He was like pissed. He was livid,
And like the
to a
Leia
point
thing,
of,
like he didn't even shoot at the cockpit. It was the two randos. He was just like, "Oh, that's my mommy," and then it's like, "Oh shit."
and like another thing, like Leia's force sensitive. She like
Yeah.
you know, yeah, that was she kind of saw that it was him. I guess like I don't know how to explain
Yeah.
it. But,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I felt it. I guess, but
But
yeah.
I think I actually do like I think his mask and everything is cool, but I think he's a lot better without it. He's kind of his own thing. That's another
agree
thing.
with that.
Kind of like Force Awakens had to be set up in a certain way to get people back in after the prequels and how weird they were, and some people just were like, I don't like Star Wars anymore. So it was like a little more safe. But it's like this was also shedding more of that. That it's like there's not going to be another Vader. Vader was Vader, and that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
even
actually a
in
really
the-
good point that
And
I
it's
never
like
thought
and
about
it's
it
like
that.
even in the
Yeah.
movie, it's just like, you know, kill the old or whatever, get rid of the past type thing.
Yeah, even that speech that Kylo does, he's like get rid of the Sith, get rid of the Jedi, get rid of the First Order, get rid of the Empire. We don't need it. Get rid of the rebels.
Yeah, get
Let's start something
I
new.
like that shit. I besides him being kind of like fucked up, I like the idea of like get rid of
Get
it all.
rid of it all.
Because it's all
Start new.
shit. Jedis are shit. They're a little better than the Sith, but like when you really think about it, the Jedi Order was just as
Well,
bad.
they killed the Sith race. Like
They
you
literally
you
did
explained
a
that to me, like-
genocide. Yeah,
I
the
never
Sith-
knew that before you said that.
like the very very old Republic, the Sith, like when the Sith first started, there was this force sensitive like race, and like they were evil. They were
Mhm.
like they were strong on the dark side. So basically, there was this war, and the Jedi basically genocided them all, and they ended up like teaching others. Like so, the Sith became more of a belief system than a race, but it's like it was a race, and then. You know, they taught more people around
That's like
that
Old
like
Republic shit,
were
right? Or
interested.
before
Yeah,
that?
Old Republic. Even a little before Old Republic. It's like it's still Old Republic, but it's like the era in which the MMO takes place, which is a little
Oh,
before
it's like the early ages of the Old Republic.
so it's like before the Knights of the Old Republic, so even older than that.
damn. Okay.
Because there's still some Sith race in Old Republic MMO.
Yeah.
So
Wait, what ones are they? Is it like cover art, dude?
they're just like red skin people, pretty much.
Oh,
They're just
okay.
like bright red people.
cool. I didn't
Pretty
know
simple.
That. That's probably. Is that where the lightsabers are red?
Everything's even
Is that
like
is it, like
their-
no? Legitimately, is that where the lightsabers are red?
It could
like
be.
It could be like paying homage to like.
Well,
and, like,
also-
the red guards or whatever.
well, also their crystals are synthetic. There's no way to get there's no way to get actually get natural red like Kyber crystals
right.
for the lightsabers. So like yeah. But yeah, I think like their planet is Korriban. I think Korriban is the Sith planet, and it's gone now. But like it was like
Yeah, Jedi's are shitty.
the
dude.
big place. They're all shitty, and the Sith was arguably a little shittier.
Let's be real. I'd rather be a Sith before a Jedi though.
Yeah.
They get so much cooler shit. Like, you can shoot lightning out of your fucking hands.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that?
There are some
Who doesn't
Jedi who do that.
dream?
There are some Jedi who do that.
Well, you have
Who
like,
use dark side
you have
powers.
Mace
but
Windu that like crushed Grievous's fucking. He was a sniper,
yeah.
like a bounty hunter before.
Yeah.
Mace Windu's just like fuck you.
Yeah. I like
Crushed his chest. That's why he wheezes and coughs all the time, and that's why he
it's
hates
it's
Jedi.
kind of good that they kind of because they said that like his crystal is like a mix of the two.
Well,
He's kind of bordering the line
there's
between.
two different stories that I've heard.
Well, first of all, let's say that let me bring up this.
Mm-hmm.
It started out and they fixed it with stories later on. He wanted a purple lightsaber. The freaking
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
a
I heard
purple
about that.
lightsaber, so that's why it was purple.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson was a purple lightsaber. We'll give him
Yeah,
a purple
fuck yeah, we'll give him
lightsaber.
a purple
But then
you
they're
want to be in
like,
Star Wars prequels? Can I get a purple lightsaber?
but then
Yeah.
later on they fixed it and kind of like this is why it's
They
purple
retrofitted it.
instead of just like why is it is it because Samuel L. Jackson? That's why. But it's
Yeah, because I've heard two different stories. They both make sense.
Yeah.
One of them was that he had a blue lightsaber before he used the dark side power to crush Grievous's chest, and that somehow turned it blue or something like that. It goes
Purple.
on from there, but like
Yeah.
I don't exactly remember. Then there was another one that like he saved this creature's life when he was looking for his crystal, and it was like a super insanely rare crystal that like you can only get for certain places, and like this creature had a purple crystal and it gave it to him, and that's what he used for his lightsaber as like like this
Yeah.
is, you know, a portion of what I had to do to
I
take
do
this
think
journey.
either way, it's kind of like it kind of represents like how he kind of straddles that
He
line.
very much does, because like he kills a lot of fucking people in this, and
Django Fett,
yeah,
fucked.
he gets fucked up. He gets his head
The
cut off in
bet-
front of his
bet-
fucking kid.
The best Jedi, or not best Jedi, the best bounty hunter in the world. He's Mandalorian, and he gets
he
fucked.
gets fucking
Actually, no, he's not even Mandalorian. He stole that armor.
yeah.
He stole armor from Mandalorian.
Which
And
makes him even
Mandalorian,
way more badass.
like they had, like the in the Old Republic, there before like the events of Knights of the Old Republic, there was a whole war with the Mandalorians. They were badass, and he stole from them. So
Yeah,
that just shows how crazy of a
man, they were
fucker he is.
They were fucking assholes. Fucking assholes in the Force Unleashed, in the first one. You
Yeah,
get the Death Star and like they're flying around and shit. You're like, God, fuck.
yeah,
God, fuck. They're the most annoying motherfuckers.
yeah.
Anyway, we have anything else to speak on about Star Wars?
Yeah, it looked amazing. Salt Planet was really
Oh,
cool.
man, that was
A
super
beautiful thing. Porgs were really well done, I thought.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna be annoying assholes like the minions,
but
they
they're
were
they were
actually
they were cute, and they had actual like funny moments with Chewie and stuff. And
yeah, 'cause they need someone to bother Chewie because Han's dead now.
yeah, I liked the moment that Luke and R2 got to have together, like that last little like
R2,
moment.
Yeah.
'cause it's his best friend.
Yeah, that was
And
nice.
which was a nice moment. And Chewie busting down Luke's door was pretty funny. That like
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
With the bowcaster.
that new character Rose, I thought was really good.
Rose was interesting. I thought she was gonna be super fucking annoying when I first
thought
saw
she was
her.
gonna be annoying too, but she was actually like very like
super helpful.
super helpful, super like heartfelt in everything she did. She really
Yeah.
cared about what's going on, and it kind of like developed that relationship between
And it
her and
completely
Finn.
squashed everyone being like, "Oh, Rey and Finn."
Yeah, no
It's like,
way.
no, you
Like I
fucking
think
idiot.
Finn does kind of like, hey baby.
Of course he does.
But like with Rose, like Rose saved his life when he was just gonna throw it away, so which was insane. I thought he was gonna be dead. I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah.
But again, that movie's just.
Yeah, I thought he
Whoa.
was gonna completely fucking just sacrifice himself for something so dumb.
Yeah.
Something so like, I don't want to say dumb, but that would have been dumb.
Yeah. It
That
would have
would've
been dumb.
Really fucking.
Cause he's untapped character.
He's so much potential there. Like somebody
He's pretty
who was
cool.
once
A stormtrooper.
who disobeyed rank and hated everything about being a stormtrooper and didn't feel like they fit in that role of just like endless murder.
Sweet.
That is
Awesome.
such a good thing that you could build on that for so long and be like,
And another good thing I liked was Poe. Poe Dameron
love
got
him.
so much development in that movie.
man. I liked him in the first movie. This one was
Yeah.
just like,
But like he didn't get enough time to shine. But in this movie, he got so much time.
yeah.
He had so
That
much
thing
time.
he's talking to the dreadnought, like the way that he pilots the X-wing,
It's
like,
insane.
it flies down, it gets super close, and it does that full-on U-turn, and then like
Yep.
cuts the engines, U-turns, and then full boost like out. Like, God,
He is
damn.
the absolute best pilot
God
I've ever seen in
damn.
Star Wars. Absolute best pilot.
yeah, he's a motherfucking monster. Like, I think every space battle that was in that movie was
amazing.
Oh, let's talk about
Light
let's talk
speed
about
into
light speed fucking
right through
Hadouken.
a Star Destroyer.
yeah.
That was insane. That lady, like, she was an awesome character. I
I thought she was
and
too.
because it was kind of like she was like she's kind of like busting his balls a bit because like of like just kind of like
Which, let's be real, he kind of deserved it.
he kind of deserved it because he was being reckless, but it was just like she was busting his balls a
Like,
bit, and he was like,
super hard.
but like she really did like him and thought he would be a good
Yeah,
leader.
and like you see like
everything.
Leia and her talking like when Leia gets back up, and he's like, oh, I kind of like him. I'm like, oh, he's funny.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
And
that's
then
cool.
she just literally takes one for the team. It's like, I'm gonna go, and people are like, oh, she's gonna escape or whatever. She's gonna try to abandon us. She light speeds right through the Star Destroyer and just annihilates it.
God, like I've never heard so many simultaneous like as soon as like you see like the windows, like the light speed effects start to come in, everyone in the theater goes and
Literally
dead silence, and just like
literally
like it just goes. You see the picture of like the Star Destroyer like coming apart.
Literally every account I've heard of it, like from people, that moment always gets a completely silent reaction from people.
And it should.
Yeah, it's shocking. It's insane.
You've never seen it in a Star Wars movie before.
There's a lot of stuff like that you never seen before, like a crazy like Casino Royale style like gambling.
Oh, I forgot
planet
about
and
that
shit.
scene. That was fucking really cool. Like these live creature, like
It was a really good
the kid
like
at the end. He just
with
like
the
brings the broom to him.
that shows that the Force is still
The Force
alive.
is still alive, and now he believes in it more than he ever did.
He's Broom Boy.
He believes in it more than he ever did now.
Star Wars Episode
And
10, Broom
Did
Boy.
you see how he was holding the broom too? He was holding it like towards the bottom.
He's like a lightsaber.
And like
Foreshadowing.
if that's one of the main characters in the next 3 movies,
I hope he's the main character.
I hope he is too. I hope he is too. And
He's like, I came from a gambling planet.
I hope he's
Hmm.
a good fucking kid actor. He's not an annoying cunt.
There's a lot of good kid actors now.
There is. Everybody in Stranger Things is great. I feel like that
Yeah.
would be too much of a. Oh, it's kid from Stranger Things, like and stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you can't do that,
You
but
gotta
I
take
mean
some,
like
no name,
there's a lot of
not really no name, but like that's
there's a
what
lot
they've been
of
doing with these movies.
there's a lot of good kid actors
There
now.
is. And like it didn't seem to be too bad with like what like the menial things that they had to do within the movie.
They
of,
seem
like,
good.
oh, and then this spaceship came in and they were running
And then
around.
that alien guy came in. He's like,
and
"Wah!"
got on
I'm
the
like,
horse and
"Ah."
ran away. It was crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, the guy's coming, gotta clean up.
Yeah.
The force, bitch.
Yeah.
See how far I can force stick this broom up your ass.
Yeah, we could probably sit here and talk about Star Wars all day.
I
I mean, there's some couple of closing items we have to talk
Yes.
about before we move on.
Okay, hold
I
on.
wanna-
And spoilers are done. So from here on out,
welcome
welcome
back.
back, everybody.
I'm future Andrew. They
you're not
told me to
future
fuck
Andrew.
off. Well, now I'm here,
You're President
Andrew,
Andrew.
but like I'm President
I said
Andrew,
we're
but
President Andrew. We are many. You are but one.
but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes. So we're
I'm
back.
here.
Spoilers are
We're
done.
back.
That was a long ass time.
Past us sucks, you know.
What?
You know what I mean? Past us, we suck. They suck. They're not us. You know? They're not us anymore. We've
What
changed
the fuck are you
already.
talking about?
The past versions of us that were sending us
I thought you were
over.
saying pastas.
No,
I was like, like
not
spaghetti,
pastas.
linguine, fettuccine,
no. I mean past
bow
us.
noodles,
No.
bow and arrow noodles.
Yeah.
That's spaghetti that you put in a bow and arrow and shooting someone.
Spoilers are done.
Spoilers
If you skip that, you pretty much skip most of the not most of the
No,
podcast,
we had,
but
what, like an hour?
I'm not. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying most of the podcast, but we talked a lot about Star
It
Wars.
was about an hour of stuff.
So watch the damn movie. Come back.
watch it, come back, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to fucking hear from
I
you
don't
guys.
care about them. Just kidding. I do. Maybe.
Okay.
And
So,
okay, closing items. Streams is the first thing up. We just
Yeah.
finished our first stream, first Friday stream. It went pretty
Super
good.
fun.
You know, I wouldn't say it's like perfect, but I think we had a lot of good
Mhm.
moments. Yeah, the full VOD is now up on the channel. If you want to watch it, go watch
There's
it.
some things that we
um,
have to work out, of course. But
Yeah, I know I personally love watching full streams of things because, you know, highlight videos are good too. But it's like if you're working on something or something, it's kind of like a
just
podcast
turn it
where you
on.
can just
Noise
put
in
it
the
on.
background. It's about 2 hours
Yeah,
long.
just like this, but a little different. But it's like sometimes you can like go over to that one and be like, oh, I'll watch this for a bit, kind of thing. There will be highlight videos made of some of the best moments, and you'll
Let's
see
not
some.
spoil anything.
I'm not gonna spoil it; it's too good to spoil. But you'll see some. You'll see some good
There's
stuff.
some funny
But it's
shit.
just like every Friday, it'll either be both of us. Like it won't be always like here in the Bandits studio, but like it'll always
I
be
mean, now
like
we can say that because it kind of is.
yeah.
Like my room is like across the hallway. We have like a proper room set up where like my computer and everything is, and Andrew's laptop is here. The 2 mics are here. We got
Yeah.
a couch. Like
But yeah.
it's a pseudo studio.
I would say that it's not always going to be that. Like, it'll either be online or maybe it'll be one of us with, like, someone else. Like, you know, it's like, hey, maybe it's just me this week. So it's like, hey, Hannah, you want to play a game? And then Hannah would come on the stream and we play for, like, an hour or two.
Yep.
Something like that.
We'll
it's just a
keep
way.
it pretty short, like kind of like podcast style. Like we won't have like 5-hour streams.
No,
unless we get to a point where it's like, okay, we're gonna do a charity.
Unless it's
stream,
viable.
you know,
Yeah.
like something
It's
like
just
that.
like hour or two streams just to play some games, get some funny laughs and gaffs.
Basically,
and
our streams
stuff.
are like what our recording sessions are.
Yeah,
Like you're watching a live recording session.
pretty much.
Are going to be taken, fully uploaded, unedited onto
There might
the
be a
channel.
couple times where I think there's sometimes a little like I think we did pretty good this time, but like I think there's a couple more gaps, like dead air time, like not too much, but like a couple more because like you're trying to like focus or like you're trying to read chat or something like that. But like I think we did a pretty good job.
For the
But
first
like
time, yeah.
it's basically a recording session. It's just we're not
trying to keep it super hype all the time, and
it's more of a chill thing.
Yeah, it's more.
There were some hype moments.
It's more of a us and you thing.
Yeah.
Like not okay. I don't mean it that way, because that sounds like it's more of a group. Group deal. It's like you guys, you come watch us, you ask us questions, see what's up, do whatever. We're very interactive with the chat that we have because it's very small, and we want to build it. So, twitch.tv/Profanity Bandits. That's where you can find us. Don't follow off stream. Follow while we're streaming on Friday.
Yeah.
It could
and if you really do miss it, remember the VODs.
Remember the VODs. Every Friday. If
I don't think there's specific times right now because it's kind of hard to nail down at the moment. But we are trying to do every Friday to get some content out on the channel, some long form content,
and
some future like highlight content.
The best way to keep up with that stuff is in the description of this video. We have our Twitter linked. It's twitter.com/Profanity Bandit. No S, because Twitter doesn't let us put that. It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So twitter.com/Profanity Bandit. Follow that Twitter. You can keep up to date with everything that we're doing.
Every time video uploads.
Video uploads. That's linked.
I think we can even set it for when we go live on Twitch.
We can set it for when we go live on Twitch.
I mean, even so, we like message.
Even still,
we put stuff on there all the time.
If you follow the Twitch, you will get an email notification every time we go live as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, go for it. Links are in the description down below. And yeah. What else?
Also, make sure to like click the little bell on our YouTube channel so you keep up to date with everything we do.
I noticed
it's pretty much mandatory.
As like my personal channel is subscribed to the channel, of course, because I want to see when videos are uploaded, of course.
Yeah.
They're never in my sub box.
Yeah.
Ever.
You need the bell.
Ever.
The bell is a must, so please get that bell. Get that bell on. I want to hear that ring, ring.
But I never see them in my sub box ever. Not even on the home screen I see them, which is super fucked.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally a channel that I co-host. I co-run this channel.
It's like, can I see it,
with you
please?
and Hannah, and it's just not there.
And we just want to make the podcast as best as we can make it. I think this episode has turned out even better than the first one.
Oh, yeah.
I personally went through the first podcast, and I thought it was something that I would actually listen to.
Yeah.
Like if this was other people, I'd sit there and listen to. And that's what you have to strive for. You have to strive to make content that you would like to listen to. And this is the exact stuff I want to listen to.
I want to listen to shit about laser swords and Star Wars.
Yeah.
And video games and shit. So that's what I do with my time, like it's and even with videos, we try to make what we want to watch.
Yeah.
So, like, if we make a video, like, 'cause I think we've done it before, where we've made a video and like, that was fucking awful, and we just instantly delete it.
Yep.
So many times. What was it?
So many times.
Actually, what was the first one? Let's do a little behind the scenes here. What was the first one that we ever saw?
I'm trying to think. It's honestly blanking right now.
Well, I think it was we were recording something, and it was just like no content was coming of it.
Yeah, it just wasn't going on.
Yeah, but you know
nothing's
what I'm
happening.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
It was like, can we? Let's not do this. And you were like, all right, yeah, that wasn't good.
It doesn't happen too much anymore. I think we've gotten
kinda
in
have
a
a
good
groove.
groove.
No,
But, like,
especially
before,
after
there
the
was-
last, okay, the last session that we were in, the one where we recorded Breath of the Wild, Metal Slug, a bunch of other shit. That was the most productive session I think that we've ever had.
Yeah.
That
And
was really good.
We've been productive today. We did a 2-hour stream. This is pretty much like 2-hour mark podcast at this point.
201.
So we've been talking for like 4 hours, and we might even do some more stuff tomorrow at some point, or even more tonight. Who the fuck knows? We're crazy. We're bats.
We're bats.
We're bats.
We're crazy. We're bats.
Profanity bats coming to you live.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I think that's all the time.
That's all the time.
That's all the time we have. Our producers are knocking on the window.
They're knocking on the door. They got guns in our faces. They're gonna say, "We're gonna kill you. Get out of the town. Get out of the city. Get
Bang
out of the
bang.
town." Anyways, we'll see.
Enjoy
you.
yourself.
We'll see you guys next time.
And have a great day. Have a great morning. Have a
thanks.
great evening.
Thanks for stopping by again.
Yeah.
To the House of Profanity. We'll see you guys in the next time of whatever it is.
Yeah. Bye.